Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. Tonight, for the second time, we are playing a one-shot entitled The Lightless Beacon. It was written by Leigh Carr and Lynne Hardy. It's available from Chaosium, and I am the game master. So, without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. It is April 12th, 1926, around 8 p.m. You are passengers aboard a small paddle steamer traveling from Newburyport to Rockport, Massachusetts. You are strangers traveling alone for your own reasons. Chat between you is polite but minimal. It's quite chilly on the sea, and the wind is blowing. Dark clouds roll towards the east, and intermittent flashes of lightning illuminate the sky. At 8:15, the Beacon Island lighthouse off the shore of Folly Point, Massachusetts, ceased to cast its light over the region's dangerous rocky waters. As a result, the SS Essex County has foundered on the rocks and incurred considerable damage to its hull. The ship is sinking, and the crew hurries you towards one of the many small rowboats acting as the ship's lifeboats. As they load you in, they tell you that your best bet is to aim for Beacon Island. They doubt that you'll make it to the mainland as the storm is coming. You should have just enough time to reach the island before it hits. Then, without another word, they shove you off into the darkness, your boat rocking in the churning waves. So you are now stuck on this little rowboat, the five of you, and it'll take two of you to row.
Everything's going to be just fine. Everyone should just remain calm. We'll get to safety soon.
If you say so. Mr. Suit and Tie, what did you say you worked as?
Oh, I'm a textile mill overlooker in Lowell. I work at the boot mills.
Who cares? Row this boat. We
All
need
right,
to reach the
I'm
shore.
going.
The Beacon Island isn't completely black, though. You can see that there are small lights coming through some of the windows on the attached dwelling. There may be a small porch light, too, that you can see rocking in the distance. It's about 1,000 feet to get there. But that's all you can see.
Perhaps we can take shelter there for the night.
I wonder what happened to the lighthouse. It looks like the keepers are there.
The wind picks up. The flashes of lightning get brighter and closer as you are rowing. Do a luck roll. Actually, who has the lowest luck?
50.
I do with 40.
John, if you haven't rolled for your luck, you roll 3 d6 times 5 for your luck.
70.
Okay. Who had the lowest? Sorry. Okay, Chase, go ahead and roll for your luck.
Hard success.
Okay. So you can see as you are approaching, there are, little intermittent the flashes of the lightning that light up the island, so you can momentarily get your bearing, usually from the flashes left on your retinas, that sort of go away. But you can see there is a small dock on the north side that's probably your safest place to head for. As you are going, you're getting wet. There's sea spray. Some of it's splashing you. Some of it's just blowing off the top of the ocean. Suddenly, your rowboat wheels around. It lurches as if it's caught on something. Do a spot hidden.
I will try to get control of the boat.
A hard success.
Just to pass.
Phil- Philippe,
Pass.
you can do a pilot boat also.
Mhm.
What you see is you have been caught on a piece of metal sticking up out of the water. It looks like part of some wreckage that's here. As you sort of glance around and once again get these flashes of light, you can see there are other jagged pieces sticking up out of the water. How did you do on your piloting? Failed.
I am happy that we are not playing Delta Green.
you've gotten somewhat tangled in these pieces of metal.
This coast is a death trap.
How well did you guys do on your spot hiddens? Any of you do
Hard.
a hard? Eleanor, as you glance at this, obviously it's some boat some ship that's been wrecked here. You don't see any markings on it. You don't see, anything indicating what name it is. And so we'll do one final luck roll. Conrad can do this again to see if you can dislodge yourself from the wreckage.
That's another hard success.
Okay. So you manage to get yourself loose from it. And with Philippe's guidance, you bring yourself closer and closer to the shore. You do notice, however, that there is water coming in the bottom of the rowboat. So you have damaged it a little bit. After what seems like an eternity, and you're getting sprinkles of rain, just light sprinkles of rain from the storm approaching. You manage to get to the shore. So let me describe the island, at least what you can see of it in the dark. There is a small dock. There are no other boats there. It sticks out maybe 30 feet out into the water. At the top of the dock, there is a path leading up towards the lighthouse, and it is surrounded on all sides by thickets and a few trees that are growing there. But you can definitely see that the lighthouse cottage, where the keepers would live, does have its lights on. It's got lights inside peeking through, and there is a porch light. This structure is attached to the lighthouse, which is farther down away from you.
And
You
I
want to
will
do?
find whoever turned off this light. I will cut him in two halves.
Well, hold your
Philippe.
horses there. That might be a technical issue or something. What did you say your name was?
Philippe Dubois, ship engineer of the Essex County, or
Nice to meet
whatever
you.
is left of her.
Yeah.
I draw
I'm
a
Pete.
machete and start chopping the way.
Okay. Well, looks
You
like
have a machete?
Mhm.
looks like
Okay.
that rowboat was a one-way trip with that hole. My name's Pete Morris, by the way.
Eleanor Carson.
Conrad.
Seems like our ship wasn't the only one to have an unfortunate fate this evening.
Did I hear about this in the news?
Nothing.
Yeah.
You're not so sure either that was recent, or at least not tonight.
What's that other fellow's name?
Parker. James Parker.
Nice to meet your
Let's get out of
acquaintance.
this rain.
Yeah.
It's like storm's coming
Let's-
through quick.
Yeah. Keep that machete down, Philip.
You want to struggle through this bush?
Well, we don't want to scare these nice folks.
Well, you don't have to cut through it. There's a path going through it up
Mm.
towards the lighthouse. So the little climb up is a bit steep, but you can see that there are, stone steps that have sort of been laid into the mud. so that it's easy to get your traction going up. Once you clear the thicket and you come out, there's a bit of a lawn, and then there is the front of the cottage. There is a small light on near the door. You can see the door. You can also see that this is a fairly well-worn path. There's a lot of, foot traffic that's gone back and forth here to the dock. As you approach the house, you can hear what sounds like some sort of machinery going off in off in the distance. You can hear it when the wind blows in the right direction. It sounds like an electrical generator. You also see that the path splits before you get to the house. One half goes to the front door, and the other goes around the side of the cottage. It is beginning to sprinkle quite a bit.
I say we head for the cottage.
Good idea.
Shit
I'll
day,
head right up to the
shit
door
night.
then.
Do a spot hidden as you approach the door.
That's hard.
Okay. You notice two things. One is that the front door is slightly ajar. The other is that there are some very strange looking muddy footprints on the porch. Do you have natural world or anything like that?
No, but I'll point it out for the group to see.
Eleanor,
I actually do have natural.
okay, you can do it too. Eleanor.
I have natural at base. Biology and zoology are my specialties.
No, zoology or
No, it's a failure.
how'd you do, Conrad?
Fail.
Okay. So the other prints or whatever they are seem to be kind of odd rectangles or diamonds in the mud about the size of your hand. And you can see that they are in fact on top of other muddy footprints, which look like boot prints. So whatever made them, maybe a seabird of some sort. You're not sure, but the door to the cottage is open and there is light coming from inside.
I'll knock on the door anyway. Hello, anyone home?
There is no response.
Well, we might as well just let ourselves in.
Mass.
Okay. As you step inside, you are in a kind of large hallway. Okay. You realize from the shape of the cottage is very rectangular. It's very simple. You can see that you're in the front end of one long corridor. The corridor is maybe 10 foot wide. You can see that it goes straight in and all the way to the back of the house, and that it opens. You can barely see because it's dark back there, but you can see that there's some little steps going up into it, and that's probably the lighthouse back in the back. You can't see it very well, but there are two doors. There's two doors on each side. There's two doors on the left, two doors on the right. And the one right next to you seems to be open a little bit. And that's where most of the light is coming from. That's on your left. Sorry.
I'll go down to that door and kind of peek in.
When you look inside, you guys are all kind of clustered there in the opening. You can see that it's like a study. There's books, there's desk, there's a wood burning stove. There seems to be another door leading out of that room. But at a glance, you can see that it's like the study where they would sit. There's 3 armchairs that seem to be sitting in front of the fire, the wood burning stove.
Is it lit? Is the stove lit?
The stove is lit, yes, and it's warm in here.
I'm gonna walk around this study and just kind of
Okay.
peruse.
Okay, so
You know.
you're walking into the study. Are you guys following?
I'll follow.
It's where the main source of light is.
Yeah, it's
All
good
right.
to be warmed up.
Eleanor and Pete, since you're the last two to go in that direction, do a spot hidden for me.
No, that's a failure.
Okay.
Pass.
All right, so you step into the study, and it's a very nice little study. It's warm. Like they say, there's 3 chairs. There's a roll top desk. There is also a flat table sitting in front of the front window. There seem to be paper, a couple of rolls of what look like canvas. There are paints, and it looks like watercolor paints, and a glass with some dirty water in it. And there is a folio setting against the wall that probably contains more paintings.
I have some expertise.
One of these guys
in-
must have been passed the time with painting.
I have some expertise in that. Can I see if I glean any special insight from that?
Sure. So what are you going to do? Look at there's sketch pads, there's a painting, or there's a folio.
Going through them all.
Okay. What's everybody else doing?
You're some kind of artist.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. I was studying the European masters, and then I got tired of it and wanted some American experiences.
Oh.
Came back over here.
What about you, Parker?
I deal in antiques. I've got a little small shop back in the city.
Oh.
So just
Okay.
kind of looking around, seeing what there is to see here.
So what do you think those are? And I point to 3 small gold coins on the floor.
Well, those look like gold coins.
You can see right
What type?
outside the door, there are 3 coins laying on the floor.
Never seen anything like that.
No,
The
You're
design
going for
on
the
them.
coins.
I don't think so. Let me take a look. Let me I guess I'd be an appraise. Well, it wouldn't be appraise. Would it
Yeah,
be
you're
appraise?
gonna take a look at them.
Yeah, I'll take a
Eleanor,
look.
what are you doing?
I imagine that I'm kind of just hovering anxiously. I feel like I'm intruding. So I'm just trying to.
And Philippe, how about you?
Philip is growing more and more angry. He lost his job today, and he had completely different plans for the evening, so he's really pissed.
So you're
Is
thinking
there-
about that?
Is there anyone that I can see?
No. I mean, you
Then
can
I'm
see
just
them.
going to shout, "Assholes, where are you?"
I think
You-
they're probably at the lighthouse, Mr. Dubois.
All right, I will go.
Okay, it's dark down there, so you might want to
But I can see it in the.
yeah, you can see it in the
Yeah.
you can see the doorway going into it.
Mm.
All right. Pete and James, you're looking at the coins, and they seem to be rough-hewn gold coins, about the size of a silver dollar, and they have some very strange markings on them.
I have no idea what I'm looking at here.
I don't think I do either.
Some kind of Roman coins or something.
I don't think have I ever seen this kind of writing, Tom?
Nothing like this. You'd think that it wouldn't be Roman because Romans were pretty particular on there'd be an emperor's picture, all that. They seem to have some sort of writing on them you're not familiar with. It looks like some sort of picto writing. And that strange little obelisk-like thing in the center of it. They look old, but gold doesn't tarnish. So you'd say that it might be dirty more than hard to tell the age, but definitely old. They're not very round and they're not very clean cut.
But they're definitely gold.
Yeah, you're pretty damn sure they're gold. In fact, if you try the old biting them, you can tell that it's somewhat soft. So they might be 24 karat gold, full 100% gold. Conrad, as you were looking through a small collection of watercolors, you can see that they are done by somebody named Sam or Samuel Smith. He signed most of them. He's dated a lot of them. And they're not too bad. They're a bit abstract. Looks like that's probably what he's been doing all along. You do notice one that seems just a little darker than the others. Looks like this. It seems somewhat gloomy. He's dated it February 12th, 1926. And there seems to be somewhat of a dark figure in the picture.
And the light, is that the normal color of a lighthouse, or would that be an unusual blue?
I think that's just his choice of color. That's definitely this lighthouse. You also find attached to it, or rather with it, you find his original sketch that he did, which looks like this.
Where is the dock in relation to, like, obviously you got the lighthouse there, which is the house that we are in, down at the bottom to the right of the lighthouse. But where is the dock? Like, could I walk out to where that is and be the shadowy figure? Stand in
It
the
looks
footprints
like
of
it
the
would.
shadow?
It looks like it would be in the thicket on the far end. The whole island has thickets all around it. But yeah, maybe that would be the perspective from there.
And if someone comes over my shoulder, they can get a look at it. But otherwise, I don't think I think of this as noteworthy enough to bother anybody else with. But I will take note of it.
Okay. But then you flip the sketchbook. The sketchbook itself was laying on the table in front of you. And when you flip the sketchbook, you have this. He's actually watercolored onto the sketchbook itself. He's done it very hastily, and it's not very well done. It seems to be bizarrely distorted.
Conrad finds it upsetting, and actually, this might be noteworthy enough to draw someone else's attention to, whoever else is in the room.
It's definitely the window right in front of you.
Instinctively, I look up at the window.
Yeah, you can see that's black outside now. The rain is starting to come down.
Is everything all right? You have an odd look.
Oh no, I've seen all sorts of eccentric painters in my time. This is just a little disturbing. I show her it.
It is weird.
It's just strange.
Now we're
Yeah.
all in the study at this point, right?
Nightmare, maybe.
Yeah, Philippe is getting ready to leave and go towards the
Right.
lighthouse.
Because I see them huddled over the paper, and I want to take a look. Curious as to what they're doing, so I kind of eyeball over. Oh, and I see it. And is that window openable? That's not even a word. Can you open that window? Sorry. I wanted
You
to sound
can,
smart for a
yes.
second.
Yeah.
There you go. So I want to creak that window open and just look down and see if there's footprints right outside that window.
It's too
weird
dark
footprints we
outside
saw.
to see at this point, but you don't think so. It's mostly kind of rocky right outside the window.
There was another one right here, and I it could be that the shadowy figure is the same one.
That painting or that picture is dated February 12th, or wait, what was the date? There's not a date or a signature on it. And
But
there's
for
no
all-
corresponding finished work.
For all I know, this shadowy one could be a self-portrait. I mean, it's very, very blurry.
It also could be an over reactive imagination. You know, people live here in isolation. They go kind of nuts.
You say over imaginative. That's some of that's good in the craft.
Sure, sure. Hey, Philip, are you gonna go out there in the dark? Why don't you grab some storm lanterns or a torch? Maybe we can find something.
Are you coming or am I
I'll
going
go with
alone?
you,
Okay.
but gonna look for a torch first.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
I'll go with you as well. I don't like intruding on these men's personal space. I'll go
No.
with you.
There is definitely some hurricane lamps here and there that you
Alright.
can light and take with you.
I will pass one to Philip.
Yeah. Machete in one hand, lantern in the other.
Can I further intrude on these people's personal space by like, is there a staircase leading upward or something? This
That
is one story.
It's just one story. And then there is then there's a staircase leading up into the lighthouse, which is where they're heading towards.
Okay, I'll join them then.
Okay. So as you step back out into the hallway, what did you do with the gold coins on the ground?
What? I guess they're still in my hand. Oops.
Okay, there are 3 of them.
Yes. I have all 3. I was looking at them. I believe Pete handed them to me to look and see what I thought about them, and they happened to still be in my hand. I was just kind of rubbing them together because it made a nice jingly, somewhat scratchy sound.
Are you going to take those with you, James?
I was not going to take them with me. I was going to put them back in the possession of the guy who owns this house.
What if we don't meet up with him? Are you going to bring it back?
I will hold on to them until I get in touch with him or her, whoever's running this place.
All right.
You want one?
Right.
I've got 3.
I'll be good.
You best
When
be
you
good.
So when you step
Okay.
back out into the hallway, you now have 2 doors on the right and 1 on the left before the hallway ends in the little steps up into the circular base of the lighthouse. Do you want to check any of those?
Yeah, I'll glance in just to make sure that whoever is running this place isn't a really strong sleeper.
Okay. Well, in fact, the one on the right, the first door, opens into what would have been their bunkhouse. You can see there are 3 beds. There are some little desks next to the beds. There are clothes hung up on poles and stuff. One of the beds, though, it looks like there's not much in the way of clothing there.
Hey, Philip, do you happen to know whether it takes this many people to run a lighthouse normally? I thought it just took 1.
Philippe.
Hey, Philip? Oh, Philippe?
Ah,
Sorry
what?
if I got your name wrong.
No, I don't care. So, what do you want?
Well, I just wanted to know, it's just kind of a sort of a passing question. I wanted to know whether it generally takes this many people to run a lighthouse.
I don't care how many they pay. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes 2, sometimes 5.
I think it's at least 2 typically. They don't just leave one man by himself alone.
There's just something romantic about somebody being there all alone, though.
Well,
I prefer
Conrad,
it
Very
that way.
isolating.
yeah, if you
Sounds
really
very
want your
boring.
answers, I'm sure you can ask the Bureau of Lighthouses.
There's a bureau of lighthouses.
Yes, there is.
And how does a merchant from Lowell know about a bureau of lighthouses?
One reads the news.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Can't remember the last time the bureau of lighthouses was in the news.
Let's move on. So there's no one in this room,
That is
and one of the bunks is empty. Like no one has been living here, like in that bunk.
well, they're all very neatly made.
And how many beds are there?
3.
And
And
are there
that's
signs
when-
of dust?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe in
It's
some
odd.
odd corners where people just tend to forget to dust, but in this case, everything is spick and span. Moving on, the next door is on your left, and as you are approaching it, you realize that there is something staining the floor right next to that door, as if it seeped out from under the door. There is blood on the floor.
Jesus.
Okay, everyone stand back now. I show my gun and badge. Yeah. I'm
Knew it.
Special Agent Pete Morris of the Bureau of Investigation. This is now a crime scene. So let's see what's on the other side of this door.
Okay, as you swing the door open, it smears the blood along the floor where it opens. You can see that there is a bit of disarray. It seems like there was some sort of struggle. There's no body, but a lot of the pots and pans have been knocked down, and some of the drawers have been pulled open. You think to get access to some of the kitchen knives. Do a spot hidden for me, Pete, since you're kind of putting this together in your mind. What might have
Extreme.
happened? Okay.
13, right on the nose.
There are marks and splatters enough to make you realize that there was a struggle here, a fight. Someone rolled around on the ground. There is a couple of distinct handprints on the wall where they pulled themselves up. And then you're thinking that they may have then bolted, they may have run out the door, but you can't tell where.
Okay. So there's no sign of the perpetrator,
No.
but there was definitely some kind of altercation here. I'm going to need all of your help.
Don't you
Well-
want us to fix the lighthouse first?
No, we're just going to see what's going on, and we're going to make sure that we're all
More-
safe.
It could cause more deaths not fixing the lighthouse. Like the storm's coming through.
Are any of you engineers?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll go up. We'll go
Mr.
up.
Mr. Full of surprises here. But how did you know that you would be here? Are you here to solve this murder? We rafted off of a crashed ship.
That's outside of your scope, Conrad. We're here now, and obviously something's not right here. That's a considerable amount of blood. We might be in danger.
I see that blood is causing me some it's unsettling to myself. I'm just gonna step out away from it. Is there another room I could just step into?
Well,
To get
there
away
is
from
the
smeary-
final
smeary
door on
blood.
this side.
I don't want to open any doors. I just kind of want to go back. Maybe I'll go back to where those paintings were, and maybe they'll soothe my
Okay, you're gonna go back into the study.
Yeah, I'm just going back into the study and because it's there's too much blood.
Okay.
Make me
Okay.
sick.
And then there is a door directly across. Oh, by the way, also in the kitchen, there is a door leading outside here as well. It would be on the side of the cottage. That is closed. Did you guys want to look around the kitchen at all?
Yeah,
At
I
this
have
point,
to now.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, Mr. Morris, I mean, there are footprints outside. Perhaps someone fled this. You might want to go look into that, yeah?
Let's clear this scene first, so no one's hiding. We wouldn't want that, would we?
No, I suppose not.
There's not a tremendous amount of places in the kitchen where you could hide, around a table maybe, but you can easily see that. There is also a door leading back into the study from here. Directly across in the hallway is a smaller door, the final door. If you check in there, it's the larder. It's where all the food is. That seems to be completely undisturbed. Let's see. Okay. So you guys are looking around. Do a spot hidden roll for me.
That's an extreme success.
Should I
I'm
pass regular?
Okay.
I'm
You
staying
don't
in the
find-
door outside watching, not looking.
Okay. You don't find anything particularly interesting or in the way of telling you anything. However, there are quite a substantial amount of weapons in here as far as knives and heavy frying pans and things like that go.
Conrad does think to just take a knife just because he feels like the situation is worsening.
Okay.
Cast iron skillet.
Okay. So we'll treat that like a club and a small knife.
That's good.
If
James.
nobody's, oh yes,
Okay. So you go back into the study. There's the desk with the paintings and stuff next to it. There's also a roll top desk at the other end, which you haven't mentioned.
right. So nobody's in there with me right now. Is that correct?
Correct. You are
I'm
by
just-
yourself.
Okay. I want to go through I'm basically want to shuffle through all of his things and see if I can find anything that helps me why I'm here. Helps me figure out why I'm here.
So one of the things that you did notice was all of those little watercolor paintings were in chronological order. He kept them in the order that he painted them. So you can see that the odd one was, I think, from around February 12th. At least the one with the dark figure was around from the 12th. The other one seems to look like he painted it in a hurry. You go over to the roll top desk, and the top of the desk is open. You start looking through correspondence, and at first you don't find much. There's nothing really that important, but you do notice that some of the lower drawers are locked, possibly with personal stuff for people. However, you do find an odd envelope with a letter in it that does seem to be addressed to Mr. Cassidy.
Well, dear Mr. Cassidy, thank you for your letter dated February 28th of this year. I do indeed recognize the coin you described, or at least I recognize the style of decoration, for we have a piece of similar origin here in our museum in Newburyport. As a result, I suspect your coin hails from the small fishing village known as Innsmouth, and only the locals of that town could tell you its true worth, to them at least. I should caution you, however, against contacting anyone of that locale. Our own dealings with members of that town have been extremely difficult. They seem to have a very private attachment to artifacts from that area. One of their town's primary founders was one Obed Marshwoman, whom it is said sailed the South Seas in search of treasure. His legacy, the Marsh Refinery, has been producing gold since before the Civil War. No one knows his source of the metal. They'll take back what they think belongs to them. Instead, the Newburyport Society would be glad to purchase any coins you may have at market value once their authenticity has been verified. We feel that preserving New England history is far more important than catering to the parsimony of Innsmouth. If you would care to make arrangements to visit me here at the Society's museum at your earliest convenience, then I can arrange to have our appraiser examine the coins, whereupon we can agree to a fair price for the sale. Again, Mr. Cassidy, I urge you most strongly not to approach anyone from Innsmouth about your find. It really is for the best of all concerned. Yours sincerely, Miss Anna Milton. Miss Anna Tilton.
I misspelled it.
Is it Milton? Is it Milton or
It's
Tilton?
Tilton.
That's
It's
a game
Tilton.
breaker right there. All right.
It's Tilton.
All right.
Sorry. As I said, I had to retype all of these because the cursive writing they used was unbelievably hard to read.
I've got a quick question regarding the pictures before. Who were
Mhm.
they signed by?
Samuel Smith.
Samuel Smith. Smith.
Are you taking
Certainly.
long? It is getting shitty cold out here.
All right, Philip, let's go. I'll go with you.
All right. So, James, you're still in the study.
Yes.
The others, you step into a circular room. The floor beneath you is hard concrete, possibly to help stabilize the tower itself. There is a winding spiral staircase going up the tower above you. It's made out of wrought iron, and it looks to be in good shape. There are a number of small light windows, which of course it's dark outside, so you don't see anything. You're going to head up. You can see that it's probably 80 or 90 feet up. And the end of the staircase seems to go in through a hole in the floor up above you. So up you go.
Is the machinery already leading up?
No,
through
there's no
the
machinery.
units? Okay. Then
Okay, so up you go. Your feet clank on the metal of the staircase. And when you're about 20 feet up, you can feel the whole thing has a little bit of give to it. You know, it's sort of counterbalanced by cables that hang down, but it's only semi-attached as it goes up.
be careful out there.
As you are heading up, you do begin to hear what almost sounds like a clicking noise coming from up above you, a mechanical clicking noise coming from up above you. You continue upward, and the temperature definitely begins to drop as you go up. It's not freezing cold, obviously. But it's an April night, so it's chilly. Do we'll call it a spot hidden, but it's really a notice. I want you to see if you notice certain things.
Philip is very much concentrated on the machinery.
You can
and the
all do that
sound.
are climbing the stairs.
Okay, I got an extreme, which is
Regular.
Regular.
Do you feel almost as if there is a slight, sort of intermittent breeze that you can feel the change, like in the air pressure as you're going up. All right, finally you get all the way up. It's quite precarious looking down. You can see all the way to the bottom. It's fairly dark except for the hurricane lamps in your hands. And as you, who's going, let's see what order you guys are in. Who's going first? You can fit mostly one person, each. So
Yeah,
what's your
Philip
order?
would go first, unless
I'm behind him
Be behind
because
you.
you've got the light.
I'll be
Okay.
last.
And then Chase. Okay. So Philip, as you come up, how do you want to approach the top? There is a ceiling that you're coming towards. You're obviously going to be going through, as the staircase comes through it. How do you want to approach that?
is it closed in any way?
No, it's not closed. The staircase goes right up into it.
Then he would not suspect anything wrong and just walk up. Lights in
Okay.
front, machete pointed to the ground.
Okay. So you go up to the top of the stairs, and as you clear that floor, you realize you are coming into what is called the service room for the light. In the center of the room, there is a mechanism. It seems to be functioning. It is spinning it's a mechanical thing with gears. It is spinning a tube that is going up through the ceiling in here, another ceiling. There is that's what's making the clicking noise as it's moving around. It seems to be electrical. There is an electrical engine motor that's attached to it that is through the use of gears is it's spinning it slowly. There is a cabinet against the wall. There are a number of crates. The crates are about 1 by 1 by about 2.5 feet tall. There's maybe 5 of them stacked over against the wall. And there is a small writing desk. And then across from where you are, there is a different kind of stairs, a wooden set of stairs that goes up very steeply through a square hole in the ceiling, which is probably the light bell itself, where the light is. And you can tell immediately that there is water dripping from that hole, and you can feel the cold coming from up there, and an occasional just slight mist, as if there's the weather is getting in up there somewhere. And the rest of you see the same thing as he comes up in here. This room it's narrower than the base, so it's maybe 15 feet or so wide. It's not huge.
Is it broken, Philippe? I don't know what to make of it.
Can you fix it?
Looks good. Something must be wrong upstairs, but I can check. But it might take a while.
But y'all do spot hiddens.
Hard success.
Standard.
Okay.
95 is
You're fine. It's just a failure. 96 to 100 might be a fumble.
You can see on the desk across from you, there is pen and paper. There is a what looks like an official log of some sort of the lighthouse that is sitting there. Meanwhile, James, you're still downstairs. What are you doing?
I'm still going through. I wanted to look in this study along the walls of he's got bookshelves. I'm assuming there's bookshelves in there.
Yeah.
Is there any book on Innsmouth?
Nothing like that. What you do find is you find a few novels, things to read. You find a repair manual for the lighthouse itself, how to, change things, how to change light bulbs, how to fix, how to oil, how to maintain the lighthouse. Other than that, maybe a cookbook, nothing in particular.
Just general
things.
general bookery.
Right.
Well, I'll go to if there's nothing else to see. I mean, I've looked around, I've found this letter. I think I'm getting a little bit of an idea of what's going on. I'm gonna go over to where the beds were.
Okay, you're gonna go to the
And
bunkhouse.
the room, it's just a room. It's in the same house though. It's under the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
roof.
They call it a bunk room. We'll call it a bunk
Yeah,
room.
I'm going to where their beds are and where their personal effects would be,
Okay.
and just poke around in there and see if I can continue trying to figure out why I was why he was reaching out.
Okay. So you're gonna do a search.
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead. Do a spot hidden.
23. It's a hard success.
Okay. About the most you can tell is you can kind of guess based on sort of the arrangement of things, who was where. You can tell where Mr. Cassidy was, just because you're somewhat familiar with Mr. Cassidy's habits. The other two beds are a bit mysterious. You have no idea who is staying in the one bed. The other bed that seems to be with less stuff. You think that might be Mr. Smith's bed, the artist.
There's nothing under the mattress, like nothing under the mattress. He don't have a little stash of coins or anything sitting anywhere
You're-
else.
You mean yeah, Cassidy's bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't find anything like that.
Well, all right. Well, now the other door where the blood was, if I walk across,
Uh-huh.
since there's nothing in the bunk room, can I go in there without getting any on me?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because now that I know we've got a, sniffing around, I'd rather not have any blood on me because I know how they are. You know how they are. We
Well, you
know how they
realize-
are, Tom.
You do realize you can get in there from the study. There's a door going into the kitchen from there. That would avoid the blood completely.
Well, I want to go into that room where the blood is, or is the blood in the kitchen?
That's
Because I
the
thought it was in
kitchen.
a third room.
No, it's in the kitchen.
Oh, the blood is in the kitchen.
Yeah.
My map is flawed. Oh. Well, that's all right.
Okay.
then.
So you're going to go into the kitchen.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know.
just gonna go in the kitchen. It's just odd that there would only be 3 coins. There's 3 people, there's 3 beds, there's 3 chairs, there's 3 desks, there's 3 coins. I mean, I didn't study at your big city university, but I'd say there's a pattern.
Okay.
So, and matter of fact, with it, when I still got the coins in my hand,
Mhm.
can I pull out my trusty loop and just look on there and see if there's blood on the coins or anything on those coins?
Sure. With your loop, do another spot hidden for me.
38 on 45. 38 on it's a regular pass.
Okay. The coins are not identical. They're very crudely made. You're pretty sure that this wasn't done on a modern coin press. There's nothing with your antiques knowledge. There's nothing about them that seems Roman or Greek or anything like that. They almost look like. Well, do a knowledge roll. Let's see what if you can recognize any of the symbols or.
There's a whole bunch of zeros going all the way across. So I'm gonna go with
No.
yeah, I got no idea. I don't even
Yeah.
what are these things? Ew.
Yeah, you have no idea. They are.
The big thing I was looking for was if there was like say was there sand on it? Was it encrusted mud? Do they have barnacles on them? Is there
Nothing
to-
like that, but there's definitely you might think that it looks like maybe they were cleaned recently. And they are pure gold. They haven't tarnished in any way.
Right. Yep. Yep.
All right, lighthouse people up in the top.
Philippe, am
Um,
I just getting in your way? There's not much space here.
Yeah, let's let Philippe do his thing. I'm gonna go check out those tracks if you want to come with me, Conrad.
I don't think we should be alone. I'll stay with Philippe. I want to look at the logs anyway.
Good luck. Stay
So-
dry.
Eleanor, there are numerous logs covering years, but you tend to look at the more recent
The most
stuff.
recent, yeah.
Perhaps the most interesting one that is this here.
Journal of Light Station at Beacon Island off Folly Point, Massachusetts. Years 1926. February 3rd, oil order arrived. Need to lubricate mechanism this afternoon. February 11th. Severe storm on the horizon. Barometric pressure dropping rapidly. Time to batten down the hatches. February 12th. There seems to be a wiring problem in the light circuit, possibly caused by corrosion. We think we fixed the problem, but the new light burned out far too quickly. As a result, the light was out between 3 to 4 hours and could not be repaired due to the severe storm that continued from the previous day. February 13th. Once morning arrived and the storm had passed, the damage was discovered and fixed. And it's currently April, yes?
That's correct.
All right, so.
Other than that, nothing seems to be unusual or out of place.
Are you reading this out loud?
Yeah, of course. Yes.
All right. Then Philip is going to start and check the wiring if it's at fault.
Okay, you can see where repairs have been made, and they've been made pretty well.
They are not severely incompetent.
And there's no signs of, corrosion would take longer anyway than 2 months.
The wiring looks okay otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So it should function properly.
That is correct.
Okay, you can look here. The cables are all okay. No corrosion I
trust
can
your
see.
expertise. I trust your expertise. What about where all
That's-
that weather's coming in through, though? I mean, do you think that has anything to do with this?
Maybe. But there's a lot
Maybe we
of
should go-
salt water in the air.
Yeah.
Corrosion is always a problem on ships as well.
Mhm. Maybe we
You
should
can see this. He
check it out.
points to his greasy and stained overall. That's why we oil everything twice.
Mm.
Why don't the two of you do a spot hidden as you're standing and
Mhm.
looking at the log?
Yeah.
Pete, were you going to head back down?
Yes, I was making my way down with Conrad.
And I'm following him.
Okay, so you're going down the spiral. Back
Yes.
down the spiral.
Yeah. I'm spending 3 luck to make it a success.
Okay. And Eleanor, did you make a success?
I did not.
Okay. Philip, what you notice is that what seems to be happening a few feet above your head where the stairs, it's almost a ladder, the ladder going up,
Mhm.
is water is trickling in over that little lip. It's hitting the top rung in the stair, and it's splashing down not too far from where you guys are standing onto the floor. At first, you think that what you're seeing is oil in the water, but once again, as you look a little more closely and you move around with the lantern, you realize that it's red.
He sticks out the figure, tastes it.
Well, it's mostly water, but it's there's red dripping into the water as well. The puddle's not very large either. You'd say the puddle is only, maybe 3 feet across. So it hasn't been pouring in all.
Yeah. But it doesn't, so it tastes like blood.
Yeah, it looks like blood. Yeah, it's got a coppery
Merde.
smell to it.
Merde.
Cthulhu? Is that blood?
Yeah, probably someone died up there as well. He looks up.
Okay. At this time, you hear thunder cracking outside. You can hear the rain coming down.
Is there a way to
Um,
get up to the
yeah.
level? Okay, then.
Yeah, there's just, I mean, you've seen like stairs, but it's like almost like
Right.
basement stairs where they're really,
I-
really
Yeah,
steep,
yeah, I understand.
going up
Okay.
through a hole in the ceiling, which is a little rectangle. Looks like there might be a hinged hatch on that as well, but it's wide open.
We should go check that out.
I will go first.
I will let
Okay.
you.
So Philippe, you start up those steps. Meanwhile, Pete and Conrad reach the bottom of the stairs. And James, you were in the bunk room. Were you going to continue looking around, or are you going to come out?
No, I was in the. I think I was in the kitchen when it. By the time they came down, I heard them coming down. So I'm
Okay,
I'm like not. I heard them clinking down the stairs.
right.
So I'm not going to
Okay.
be. I don't want to be elbow deep in something when somebody walks in. Just kind of. I'm just nonchalantly leaning against the counter.
Hey,
pondering.
Parka. You want to come out with us and investigate those tracks?
Yeah.
It'd be good
sure.
to have another able-bodied person.
Sure. I was looking around here, and
what'd you find?
being that, well, it's what I didn't find.
Oh,
We've got blood everywhere. Got blood on the floor. I was able to steady my nerves.
I'm proud
Obviously,
of you.
with a little cool air and some quiet self-reflection. And I looked around and I noticed there's a big struggle. Obviously, there's blood everywhere. There's all kinds of commotion, big struggle inside. Is that something that you would just invite someone in? Because I didn't see the door broken. I see no windows broken. Nothing's broken into as if somebody burst in to do this to them. Did you guys notice that? Or is that just
Of course
a
I
me thing?
did.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just saying. Just thought it was weird. That's all. That,
Well, maybe
Maybe
they
it's-
didn't get along. Maybe they went a little crazy.
yeah, I guess what happened out here.
But I'm curious about those tracks before the rain washes them away.
Yeah.
So-
I'll walk out with you guys. I'll
As
go out
I
with you guys.
step outside, I'll draw my service revolver from my chest holster. So
I nudge Pete with my arm. Say, hey, look, with my sketch pad, I look like a cop.
Okay. Now at this point, it is raining outside. It's getting heavier as the time, and you're getting big flashes of lightning and peals of thunder in the sky. The track itself, which is also well worn, a lot of it is starting to be washed away by the mud, but you can see that it goes around the side of the house towards the kitchen door is where it heads. James, are you going with them?
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
out with them.
Okay.
bring one of those hurricane lanterns, please.
Okay. So as you head out, you're going around the left side of the cottage, and you can see that the tracks go around to that side door that's in the kitchen. Not far behind that then is the tower of the lighthouse itself, and the tracks continue around the back side of the lighthouse. You can see that there are a number of small buildings back here as well. Continue.
Hey, Pete, it's hard to talk over this thunder, but should I follow you, or should we all split up to make best use of the tracks?
It's best to stick together in this weather. Make
You've
sure you're
also
not blown
got-
away.
You've also got trees and thickets. At least at this point on your left-hand side, there's not really any splitting up. There's only this track going in this direction. The first small building that you get to is more or less, it doesn't have any doors on it. It's more like a framed roof, and you realize that there is a large clawed bathtub and a place where you can put water up above and have it come through a shower head. It's a primitive shower bathtub. You realize the next building over is the outhouse.
Do any of
But-
these look disturbed?
No, they look used.
Okay.
And right now they're pretty wet. On the back side of the lighthouse structure itself, you see another lean-to sort of structure. And despite the storm that's making a lot of noise around you and the wind that's beginning to blow, you hear a mechanical noise coming from in there, like a generator running. Do a spot hidden for me.
Of course. Success. 63 out of 65.
You can hear.
regular.
Okay, well, as you're standing there, you can hear what sounds like water pouring on metal. Do you look in the generator room?
Yes.
You look in the generator room, you realize that there are a number of damaged places in the primitive roof. Water is in fact pouring in over the generator, and there is a good chance that it will short out.
Are there any planks or boards in the way that I can mitigate this? I have some electrical repair and mechanical repair.
Yeah, there are. You figure if you had some way of fastening it, there would be a way that you could repair it.
All right, I'll take off my belt.
What's going on?
This
Pete?
isn't
Can I help
what it
you?
looks like. We're gonna try and keep the power up. You can lift that plank up, help me fasten it, get this water off the generator.
Now, it's a rather small shed, so two of you can be in there, but one person is still sort of standing out in the rain. Okay, James is still out in the rain. James, do a listen roll.
All right. 16. On right. There you go. It's a pass. 16 out of 20.
So as they're working on that, you've got the noise of the generator, the noise of them moving around in the shed, the sound of the storm and the wind around you. But you think you distinctly hear the sound of something rustling through the thicket, maybe 10 feet away from you. You also see there's another little building. It looks like a work shed.
I'm going to look up. I want to look up at the, because it's freaking me out that I hear, sounds like something's moving around. I'm not a big fan of nature and outdoors. So I'm going to look up and see if I'm somewhat in the area where that watercolor painting was showing the shadowy figure. Am I kind of oriented to that same?
Well, you think maybe there is at least one other path that continues into the thicket towards the back side of the island. Maybe if you were through there and on the other side, closer to the shore, that would give you that look towards the
Yeah, and I realize that. And so
it's
I'm going
dark
to
and it's
so I'm going to kind of scooch over to that other shed and just kind of scooch
Okay.
over into that shed and close the. Is there a little door, small door?
Yeah, it's
I was gonna do
definitely
that.
when you open it up and look inside, it's got tools and things like that that are in there for repairs.
Oh yeah.
It's got planks and corrugated metal and things like that.
That's James Parker land now.
And yeah, you can stand there in the doorway or just inside. And
Yeah, and can
water's not-
I close the door? Is there
Yeah.
a door that I can kind of me?
yeah.
That's what I'm gonna be doing.
All
And
right.
me.
So it's very small, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're inside there with the door closed.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Eleanor and Philippe, what is your next move?
We're gonna go up to the source of all of the blood and the weather coming
Mhm.
through. And check it out.
Okay.
Letting Philippe take the lead.
So Philippe is already going up the stairs.
Yeah.
Now, Philippe probably knows, just because he's got a lot of sea lore and stuff like that. He knows what a lighthouse is like. But just to kind of describe it for you. So there is a glass room that is the top of the lighthouse. In the center of it, there is a light bulb, a large mercury vapor light bulb. It's very bright. And then surrounding that is a Fresnel lens, which is designed to focus the light. It looks like, I'd have to see one. And that itself is on a track so that it is slowly rotating. It focuses the light into a beam which shoots straight out through the glass walls. On the outside of that glass wall, there is a catwalk that sort of goes around the lighthouse, and there is a glass door in part of that on the mainland side, because it's most important that the light is, shining out towards the ocean. As you take a couple of steps where your head's cleared the floor and you're now, this high off the floor looking up,
Mhm.
you can see that there are puddles of water and blood that are there. You're pretty sure that there is a body or something a little bit around the corner. You can see that one of the glass outer panels in the building itself are shattered. So there is glass on the ground. You can also see that the Fresnel lens itself has been damaged. There is part of it that is broken. The Fresnel lens is fairly thick, so these are more like chunks of glass that are lying on the floor. And of course, the light bulb itself in the center has been shattered. The wind and the rain and everything are blowing in to this area.
Yeah, I stop once I get this overview, and then I talk quietly to Eleanor, or at least as quiet as we can be to
Mhm.
still be heard. Somebody died up there, and they broke the light bulb. Have you seen any spares down there?
I'll look. What do you think could have happened to them? Do you think in the process of the light bulb breaking somehow maybe they were injured?
Don't know. If there is an overload with electricity, it could be that they got injured or
Yeah.
hurt.
I'll start looking through those crates for light bulbs.
The crates are all light bulbs.
Right. Okay.
The light bulbs
Then,
themselves.
yeah,
are
then I'll
about-
start the business of opening up a crate and getting one up to Philippe.
Okay.
Although I guess it
wait,
won't matter, does it? Oh, will it matter though, Philippe, if the lens is broken? I guess something's better
Some
than
light-
nothing.
some
yeah.
light is still better than none. Yeah. Let's see. I will go upstairs, and then we can try to
Yeah.
Okay.
install.
So when you step up,
Mhm.
you're stepping into puddles of water and blood, and you start moving forward. You begin to realize there are two bodies lying there, and something else. As you come around the corner and you see what it is, you need to do a sanity roll. Eleanor, you're behind, so you don't quite see what he's
Okay,
seeing.
got it.
He just gasps and faints his sanity roll.
Okay, do a 1d4.
2.
Okay, so what you see causes you to leap back and say something like "Bordel de putain de merde." There is a man lying on the ground. He is bloody. He is torn. He seems to have something latched on to his neck and chest. The thing that's latched on, the only thing that comes to your mind is frog, but a gigantic sort of frog, and except that it has spines and it's bizarrely malformed, and it has large webbed feet. On the other side of him, there is another one of these creatures. It's dead. It's lying there. Its eyes glazed over white, unblinking, very fish frog-like. That it's lying there. You can see bullet holes in its belly and chest. And these spines sticking out of it. The final body looks more human, looks like a person dressed in, wet weather clothes, except that the face that you see when you see him also looks very fish-ish, as if his eyes are much bulgier and his lips much wider. And he's got bullet holes in him as well. The first man, though, is human. And you can see that though he lies there dead on the floor, his eyes glazed white, his eyes wide open with this thing clutched into his throat. He holds in his hand a revolver, clenched tight in his throat. You can probably guess that firing the gun is what did the damage to the area that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So
there was
Eleanor, you notice him leap back in terror.
All right.
What's
wrong? What's wrong?
A fight. Strange frogs. Not sure you should come. Is this thing still moving?
No.
Okay. Just in case, he leaps forward and slashes it with his machete.
Yeah, it has a sickening sort of slicing sound as you do that. But in the process, when you do that, you do realize that there are parts of its body that are quite well armored. It's got soft parts and hard parts. And these long quills that stick out from its fins look sharp and nasty, like some poisonous fish have.
Well, when he says strange frog, I'm scrambling up there to get a look at it.
Okay. When you look, do a
Okay.
sanity roll.
I passed. Look at this. This is fascinating.
Look
Mr.
at this
Dubois,
guy.
Don't
he
touch
fucked
it.
the
Don't
mermaid.
touch it. Don't touch it. I had heard that there was an unidentified something in the waters around here. This is perfect for my research. I'm going to start trying to gather up the little frog-like creatures.
Philip looks at her full of disgust.
Yeah, there's very little room up here to do that.
I'll
Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
plus the
Yeah.
water, the rain.
I'll
the
get the
storm.
gun and then I go out of the way.
All right. You grab the gun. You check it for bullets. All of the bullets have been fired.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, back downstairs, Pete and Conrad are trying to repair the roof of the shed, not knowing that there is a work shed right around the corner. What are you doing, Pete?
I am struggling to repair this piece of machinery. And the trail,
You mean the building?
Just-
Yeah,
so the trail, did it still like go around?
it did.
Okay. So after we get this set, I'm going to continue on the trail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do a I will just say that it takes you maybe 15 minutes to figure out what you're going to do. And really all that you've done is kind of deflect the water away. You don't have a hammer or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they got to have some kind of workshop or something. We'll look around, Conrad.
Conrad
so
has just installed himself at the right hand of Pete.
You're doing good.
So as you step back out of the generator shed, you can see that the path splits. On your right-hand side, you can see immediately that there is a little work shed. There seems to be light creeping out from under the door of the work shed. And you can see that the path leads around the work shed and continues around the side of the lighthouse. But at that same point, right outside the door where you are, there is also a place where the path leads into the thicket and possibly down to the other side of the island. It's dark. It's almost like a tunnel of trees and thicket.
I hate this assignment. Anyway,
So this
Well-
is your assignment? Was to be
No,
at the
no. I'm not supposed to be here. But I hate this
Yes.
area. It's too moody. It's creepy. Stuff will turn your hair white.
It's kind of tragic in a way, right? It's a little bit beautiful in that way.
All right,
Romantic.
let's
maybe?
let's go in.
Okay, so you're going towards what, the shed?
I'm going towards the workshop with the light.
Okay,
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Jane.
I'm
Anyone
now
home?
terrified. I'm now terrified because all I hear is a knock on the door. And so I just
Anyone home?
I brace myself against the door.
Pete, you can hear that something inside moves.
All right, gun is drawn. Anyone
And as
home?
you-
Do I hear him say that?
yeah.
Pete?
Oh, Parker. Thought you were outside.
No, I was getting wet. And I needed to come inside. Here,
Yep.
I opened the door and let him in.
That's fine.
You guys
That's
aren't believe
understandable.
this. It's got tons of tools in here and some corrugated metal and everything. I was just about to come let you guys know everything you need to fix the generator roof is right here.
Wow, that's exactly what we were looking for. Good job.
The wind blew the door shut. Damn storm.
Okay. Well, why don't you help out and grab some tools and let's fix this thing up so we can follow the tracks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I see you've got your gun drawn.
Just precaution.
Well,
Did
I heard
you-
some I heard some footsteps outside while you guys were working the generator roof. I thought I heard footsteps. I'm not 100% sure, but then I saw the tools in here and I came in here.
Don't need to be ashamed.
Oh, I wasn't afraid. I was just really wanting to see what was in this shed. I wasn't afraid.
Okay,
I'll
well,
figure it
stick by me and you'll be safe.
out. All right. What tools we need?
All right.
I list off the tools we need.
Yeah, you get the tools, better tools than you just had 5 minutes ago. And you wish you'd found this earlier.
I know.
But with this, it takes you another 10 minutes and you've secured a piece of corrugated metal on the roof. The water's not going to be a problem anymore.
See, they're not gonna be able to pick us up if that light's not on and this light needs electricity. So
Yep.
All right, well, So the path goes around the lighthouse, and then a separate path goes through the thicket. Is that what you?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, I hope Eleanor and Leap, they're all right, but we gotta check this out. So once again, the gun's drawn. Let's go.
We're
so
just gonna
you're-
walk straight into the rain.
You're going to
Yeah.
continue around the lighthouse.
Into the thicket.
You're going to go into the thicket.
Yeah.
Okay. The thicket itself would normally provide you with at least a little bit of cover over your heads, except that everything is wet and dripping. So as you're going through, you're getting thoroughly, soaked just by bumping up against bushes and leaves and stuff.
Don't
like
they have
that.
ponchos inside? Maybe that'd be smarter. Keep us warm, dry.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you saw ponchos in there.
Then let's head back in.
Well, I'm walking
you-
right next to Pete.
You want to go back the way you came, or did you want to go the other way around the lighthouse, which would probably at this point be shorter?
We'll go the other way then.
All right, so you start around the lighthouse on the other side. I'd like you all to do spot hiddens.
I failed.
Stream.
Regular pass.
Okay. Well, let's do it this way. So once again, Pete, you're going first, then James, then Conrad. James, Conrad suddenly latches onto the back of your shirt and points at a place in the thicket, right, sort of on the edge of the path. When you look back, you can see a human hand lying there in the rain, sticking out from behind, sticking out from the thicket itself.
Well, I
Jesus
reach-
Christ.
I reach up and whack Pete.
What is
And-
it, James?
There's a hand. There's a hand coming out of the bush.
Just the
There's a
hand?
man- I didn't look any further.
That's all
The
you
hand
see
was
at this
enough.
point.
All right. Well, let's take a look.
All right. You move over to where that is, and you realize that there is a dead body that's lying there. It's fully dressed, but it is torn open. The body itself is ripped. Parts of its body are kind of strewn around in the bushes. And Pete, when you look at the person, you are pretty sure it is Michael.
God damn it.
What?
I know this guy. He was one of my contacts I was supposed to meet.
You've got to be kidding me. I thought you said didn't even know you were going to be on this island.
He was posted up here. But like I said, was beyond scope. Now it looks like he was torn apart by animals? Or I look up
Yeah.
at the lighthouse. Did he fall?
No, it looks like he was torn apart by something.
Shit.
Oh,
But he was just killed by animals like
I gotta roll sanity
15
for
yards
this.
away from the.
Yeah, do a sanity
Yeah.
roll.
I succeeded.
I failed.
Pete, you're somewhat hardened to this sort of thing, so just take 1 point. Conrad, did you fail? Chase.
Oh, sorry. I succeeded.
Okay.
Sanity roll.
You take 2 points, and James do a 1d4. We're getting all spooked.
I'm gonna be stuck here in this region forever. Jesus Christ.
I'd also like you to do well, we'll say Pete, do a spot hidden.
Sure. That is a hard.
Okay. You look down at Michael and you realize that his body is still a little warm. That this must have taken place within the last hour or so. There also seems to be something stuck in his face. It looks like porcupine quills, something like that. You can see the skin around where they are has discolored. There's black sort of under his skin moving away from them, like they were poisoned of some
Yeah, I've
sort.
never seen anything like this before. It's like he was got a puffer fish thrown at him.
Was this like a blowgun or something?
Your guess is as good as mine. All right, we gotta get off this island, but we gotta make sure it's secure because this body is fresh. So, the gun is still out.
Do a listen roll, all of you.
Hey, Tom, if I look
Yeah.
up now, it's the painting, isn't it? Now that we're behind the thicket.
No, you're still on the side of the lighthouse. You're literally right up next to the lighthouse. So you'd have to
The
go
thing-
back out through that to the edge of the island. probably.
I fumbled.
I didn't hear a thing.
Neither did I.
Fumbled. What did I have? Sorry. What did I have you roll just now?
Listen.
Listen. All right. You don't hear anything. You just want to get the hell away. How about the
Yeah,
rest
I
of
do.
you?
We
Didn't
all
hear a
failed.
thing.
Okay. You all failed. So you just trudge on quickly back around the side of the lighthouse cottage and back up to the front door. Dripping wet.
Let's get the ponchos. Let's let Philip and Philippe and Eleanor know. And let's follow those tracks.
What's the plan here? Are we solving your investigation? How do we get off this island?
Listen, you're welcome to stay, but I've got my own duty.
Well, I guess if you could use my help, I'll tag along.
I'd love your help.
Eleanor and Philippe, I realized a moment ago I made a slight mistake. I forgot something, but I'll explain it this way. In that same room, the room down just below you, there is a radio. However, when you looked at it, it was sitting on the table. It was disassembled. There were pieces all over the table. Some of them looked like they had fallen onto the floor. It doesn't look smashed. It looks disassembled.
Like for repair or cleaning.
Possibly, yeah. All right. So you guys are up there. What do you guys want to do?
I'm carefully taking samples. So I want these two frog-like creatures, finding out something to carry them in, maybe one of the crates or something.
Okay.
Trying to have care with them, like wrap them up maybe.
Well, the creatures themselves are like small children sized.
Okay.
Okay.
It's very large.
They look like they feel like they might weigh 40, 50 pounds at the most, each.
Oh, it's quite heavy, yes.
They're very strange looking. They've got an overall sort of human-esque structure, except that they are obviously, they've got large haunches, powerful muscular feet, partially covered in armor. Their mouths, where you can see he's latched on, are almost anglerfish-like, with very sharp needle-like teeth, large unblinking eyes, and these spines on the back of their heads. Very strange looking things. You've never seen anything like it.
Oh yeah, and I'm cataloging all of this. I just find this very fascinating at this point.
Maybe you can drag one of them down into the room right below you.
Right. Yeah.
That would make the sense.
And
The light itself, you've got spare light bulbs, but the Fresnel lens is broken, and rain is coming into that room, so it would probably short out the light bulb unless you find some way to block the window. And then there's blood and bodies on the floor.
okay. I will store the light bulb, the replacement light bulb next to it. and then see what needs to be done to fix the incoming rain.
Yeah. You need a tarp or something. You haven't seen anything like that or any way to fix it. The light, because the lens is broken, the light will provide some illumination, but it won't be the bright focused beam of the lighthouse rotate.
As long as
Um,
the tower can be seen, I think that will still help in some way. But
right. Do an electrical repair and
Mhm.
we'll decide if it doesn't just immediately short out because of the moisture.
yeah. Mhm. It's not my strong suit. But I make it. 38 of 40.
Okay. So you put the light bulb in, you release the catch, the light bulb rotates into its place, and it immediately comes on. It's very bright, almost blinding to be standing right up next to it. It lights up the lighthouse. Gentlemen downstairs, just as you are getting to the door, you see the lighthouse light up above. It doesn't seem to be a rotating light. It's not as bright as what you'd expect from the lighthouse, but it does have light now up there.
Oh, thank God.
Philippe did it. Good for him.
All right, so you guys enter down below. Eleanor and Philip will just say that you can hear the noise of somebody coming into the building down below you, but you don't know who.
If while we're still up there, can I see where they got where these fish frog things came into the lighthouse? Is the door open to the balustrade or?
No, but the door was open when you got here, the front door of the building.
Okay. I must have climbed up here.
All right, you guys, you hear them downstairs coming in and knocking the water and mud off their feet. What you guys
Hello?
downstairs?
Just Pete, Conrad, and James here.
Okay. Mr. Dubois, hey, come on, help me drag this down.
Do you
Please.
really want to carry this thing?
Yeah, this is scientific discovery. You're
you want to cook
looking
it,
at
or-
Anaxarus carsoni right now. This is going to be named after me.
What does it taste like?
I'm not going to eat it.
It's a frog, no?
It smells strongly of fish.
Some
Pete,
garlic could be good.
Pete, James, and Conrad downstairs. You can hear them sort of having a heated, not an argument, but discussion upstairs, especially Eleanor's high-pitched squeaky voice.
I'll make my way up.
I'll start getting the supplies ready on the ground floor.
I'm gonna go in there to the heater and dry off and get warm because I've been outside and I'm wet and I want to get warm and dry. And I'll also grab that How to Fix a Lighthouse book so that when they come down, I'll just be like, hey, found this if you guys are interested.
Okay, so you've gone into the study. Conrad, you said you're heading towards the stairs going up to the lighthouse. Pete, what are you going to do?
I'm just getting supplies, ponchos, more lanterns.
There's probably ponchos inside the bunk room.
Then I'll head there.
Okay. Pete, do call it an intelligence roll because it's based on your knowledge as a special agent.
Now with the 94.
In that case, it's fairly easy to find ponchos so that you can go out into the rain. but you don't really look around for anything else. So
Is there like a flare gun or anything like that? Now that I'm with the supplies.
No, probably not. But you do figure there should be a radio here somewhere.
It's true. Well, I'll ask the rest of the gang once they get down here.
Okay. Conrad, you are going up. Eleanor and Philippe, are you staying in that the service room?
I'm starting to haul this
Upstairs?
thing down.
Yeah,
Okay.
drag it down.
I will help her.
So Conrad, as you are going up, you notice Eleanor and Philippe coming onto the staircase above you, coming down, and they seem to be carrying something. It looks at first like the body of a green-colored child, floppy, but then you see webbed feet.
What the hell is that?
There's one more upstairs if you want one. And but then it needs to be named after Madame. And there is also a frog person. Don't know. He got shot.
What? A frog person got shot? What are you talking about?
Go check it out.
I do want to look at him when we finish here. That's also very interesting. Don't
Maybe a
worry,
good
it's
costume.
dead.
Who
Hopefully a
killed
good
it?
costume.
Did Philippe kill it?
No, I think the lighthouse keepers must have killed it.
He had a gun.
I think it attacked them.
In the firefight, the light bulb got shot. The lens is broken as well.
The
will
firefight
make
between
some
what? The lighthouse keeper and a frog person?
Mm.
Yes.
Two of these things. He points to the box. They're quite tough. I tried to chop it with my machete. Not good.
All right, so you pull this thing down, you get it to the bottom of the stairs. Pete, what are you up to?
So if my contact was staying here, he must have notes. So I'll look for those.
Okay. You look through what you've determined would be his bunk.
Okay.
And you start looking. It takes you a little time, but tucked between the mattress, over towards the wall, you do find a little notepad. What you find on it is this, on his last entry.
George Cassidy, previous criminal record, involved in smuggling, lights on water, small rowboat, found ship parts on North Shore, found gold coin on North Shore. Bigger than just bootleg moonshine. What is going on? Smith said, saw someone in trees and peering through window. Men on island at night. Croaking noise. Frogs. I'll keep this hidden. This is official Bureau property.
It does make you think too that the other men probably kept some sort of journal.
Yeah, I'll look for those as well.
You look for those, but you don't find anything in this room.
I'll ask the rest. But I'll get the supplies in order, gather them, and head into the main hallway.
Okay. All right. So you end up in the main hallway. James is back in the study, and Philippe and Eleanor and Carr and Conrad seem to have a strange bloated fish thing.
What on earth is that?
I have no
looking
clue.
Carson's toad. Isn't it beautiful?
Where'd you find that?
Furthermore, they said they found a fish person up there. That there was in a firefight that damaged the lighthouse.
Okay, hold on.
Could have also been a frog person. Don't know.
Okay. Let's get beyond the fact that this is tampering with a crime scene. Let's say this is out of necessity. So I need to look at that. I need to check it out. Was there a gun?
Yeah,
Yes.
He pulls out the gun.
Watch where you're pointing that. Is that
It's
loaded?
empty.
Okay. Well, can I identify it as a 38 revolver?
It is.
I've got a
I
few
knew
spare bullets.
I knew you were going to ask me that. It is, in fact, a Colt M1877.
Okay.
So not sure your bullets will fit
Oh,
into that gun, but there might be bullets around somewhere.
yeah. You can probably get that loaded up for self-defense in one of these rooms. This is, once again, this is out of necessity here because I don't think we're alone on this island. We found a body behind the lighthouse.
Hmm. Oh, there's a radio up there too.
Is
It's
it
been
working?
taken apart. It's
No,
been
it's
disappeared.
I can repair.
Perhaps Mr.
probably.
Dubois can help. Yeah.
Okay, Dubois, if you head up there with me while I look at the crime scene, maybe you can repair this radio so we can get off this island. Just, it better not be one of those, those folk people.
Innsfolk, what?
What is that?
Yeah,
mean?
they've got a bad reputation. Not too kind. Some
Why
of
would they
them
be all
are.
the way out here though?
Can I roll
What
on
do you mean?
Cthulhu meters?
What was that, Philippe?
Can I roll on Cthulhu mythos?
You may. You may
Mhm.
also roll on occult.
Should I roll on occult?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Okay.
I can spend luck to make this work. What would
If you-
yield the better result, mythos or occult?
Mythos.
That's 30 points of luck, folks.
Yeah, that's a lot. Let's just say
Let's do it. Let's do it.
let's just say that you've heard, you're a sailor. You've heard rumors about things that shouldn't exist that live in the sea, mermaids and sirens and things like that. So that whole thing just sends hackles up the back of your neck,
Yeah.
kind of like spines, but not spines.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Pete. They have a bad reputation for being frog people.
No, not. Son, have you ever been to Innsmouth?
No.
Good.
Don't
Keep it
go
that way.
there.
James, you warming up in there?
I'm just listening to you guys.
Do you have
Just
plans?
James, you do
I
hear
hear
them.
you.
Yeah,
I could hear them. I'm right. I'm in by the
Yeah.
fire.
you're 10
deal
feet
there.
away, right?
Yeah, I can hear them rattling about. And I heard you guys mention Innsmouth and frog people
Mm.
or creatures. Is that what I heard flop down the stairs? That
No,
you
Yeah,
drug-
take a look at this thing.
Did you drag
Don't
a?
touch it.
I'm not going to touch that. Look at it.
No one
That's
wants
how
to
you-
touch that. It's
That's
disgusting.
That's how you get warts. You touch the frog.
Apparently, that's not
Exactly.
even.
Everybody knows that. You don't want that.
That's not even the real. That's not even the real mystery here. They found a person, like a frog person.
Look, we'll look at it. We'll check it out. I'll call
I'm not
it in.
looking at it.
Okay, I'll look at it.
Well, look here. Here's the thing. All right, I may have known a guy who was here. All right, and I really think the only way we're going to figure out what happened here is if I come clean. I'm just going to
Now
come clean.
you know a guy who was here.
Well, I
Pete
knew-
knows a
I-
guy who was here. How does everyone here know somebody that was here?
I
don't
don't
know
know
anyone.
anybody here.
I was actually aiming for this place. I didn't. It just happened to wreck the. They just happened to wreck at the right time. So
Yeah.
serendipity, if you will.
Well, you probably expected
don't
the
know.
people alive.
Well, yeah, he was supposed to be alive. Look, here's the thing. The fella, my old partner, all right, his old business partner of mine, George Cassidy. You've probably seen his name on some stuff around here.
Maybe I have.
Well, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, maybe you haven't, maybe you have. So he had sent me a letter He sent me a letter asking if I was in the business of selling strange and exotic goods, which I'm not. I don't do that. That's neither here nor there. But I don't do that. But it was weird to have him call out to me and ask that. So I was wondering if he had got himself into some kind of dirty business, if you will, some kind of shadiness. So I came out. I wanted to come out and talk to him and say, hey, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know? So obviously I poke around. I'm poking around and I found a letter. And I'm going to show them the letter. I'm going to show Pete the letter because Pete's a cop. So I'm going to show Pete the letter. Here you go, Pete. And I show him the letter that George Cassidy had sent to the people, to the folks trying to get a buyer for the coins.
Yeah, it's the letter
All right.
from
I'll read
it's
it.
letter from
Yeah.
the Newburyport
Yep.
Society
Right.
writing back.
The reply. Sorry, the
Right.
reply. Yeah.
All right, James. Let's say you're just friends with Mr. Cassidy. Let's just say that you don't sell exotic goods.
Hmm.
And let's just say that if you help all of us get to the bottom of this, we won't have to worry about judicial action.
I mean, I'm no snitch, but I could probably, we could probably work together. Yes.
Of course.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
extend my hand.
Excellent. I'm shaking that hand.
Good.
So we're awkwardly holding hands, shaking in front of everybody else while they're looking on, thinking that we've got some kind of weird connection.
You two both happen to know somebody on the island we freaking shipwrecked on. And now
What does this have to do with Innsmouth? What does Innsmouth have to do with any of this?
Come down, son.
You've got a frog in your lap. You got a frogman in your lap,
What does that have to do with
or
Innsmouth?
an Ellenorius Carsonius.
This is Anaxarus Carsoni. Thank you, Carson's toad. Now, what does that have to do with anything?
Potato,
And
potato.
what does that have to do with Innsmouth?
Because if this frogger is from Innsmouth, then they're here for some kind of reason. And it seems that these gold coins that were found in the hallway, that I really am not sure where are at this point, are somehow tied to Innsmouth. Because in the letter, that's the first thing that they said. It's if you're tied in with Innsmouth, these people get really mad when you steal their stuff.
How did they
Everybody
even
gets
find
mad
these
when you steal their
coins?
stuff.
Yeah, but these folks get really mad when you get them.
Where did they even find the coins in the first place? This is an island.
Don't know.
Probably dug it up on the beach.
Maybe we should go to the beach.
Well, there's
I'd like to
radio.
investigate the thickets, but we gotta deal with the radio, and I have to look at these bodies at the top of the
Okay.
lighthouse.
I will start repairing the radio, and you can look at the lighthouse.
Oh,
Alright.
Philippe, there's a book. I found a book. It's here. It's How to Fix a Lighthouse. It
Great
was in the
job.
library. It tell you everything you need to know right here in this book. How to Fix a Lighthouse. It's put out by the Lighthouse Bureau of
Really
Lighthouses.
excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is there something about radio?
I didn't open it. I just read the cover. I didn't want to judge.
Then make sure it is not empty with the bottle inside.
I opened the book.
Yeah, there's
Is it
a
empty?
bottle inside. It's
It's a book.
maintenance it's the maintenance schedule of the lighthouse.
There you go. There you go, Philippe. There you go.
Let's get off this shithole. We have to make sure the light's on. My patience is running a little thin.
With
light is
what I've
on.
heard is around here, I'm not leaving the proximity of somebody in here with a gun. So I'll stick to your side.
Okay, well, if you want to come up to the lighthouse, fine.
You guys are going back upstairs to the bodies?
I gotta look at them. It's my job, man.
Yeah. Yes.
And with that, let's take a 5-minute bio break.
2 minutes later.
All right. So what are you all planning on doing next? Pete, you said you're going up to look at the
Sorry.
scene.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Alexa, shut up. Didn't say Alexa.
Yes,
Pete,
I'm heading up.
We're heading up. Anybody going with Pete?
Yeah, Conrad's determined to stay next to somebody who's armed, and while he's the only person armed, he's just going to circle him.
Gonna get crowded up there with a bunch of people, so I'm gonna stay downstairs.
Okay,
Yeah,
Pete
I'll-
and Comrade.
I will
Ready
go
up?
up and repair the radio.
So Philippe will go up behind them. James and
Actually,
Eleanor.
I'm going to go back to where we saw those weird footprints and see if they match the frog creature. Just
I
continue
think
cataloging.
without even doing that, you think, yes, this is
Okay.
what you thought at first. It was maybe some kind of a
Mhm.
seabird, like a duck feet, but too big. It
Mm-hmm.
matches these.
I'm gonna go
Um,
bust those drawers out of the roll-up desk.
okay.
Since everybody's coming up dead, I might as well see if there's anything in there and make a buck off of.
Okay. So Pete and Philip and Conrad. Pete and Conrad are going up first. Philip will stop in the service room and see if he can fix the radio. Do an electronic or electrical repair.
Do I get
roll.
a bonus for the repair manual that I have?
Okay. Yeah,
No,
I'll
just
give it to
ask.
you. Yeah.
Bonus die or what is the?
Yeah, you can have a bonus die.
Mhm.
Also because you are an engineer, so the radio on board the ship would be an important thing to know how to fix.
Then it is 22. I will spend 2 luck to make it a hard success.
You don't need to.
I want to.
Okay. The radios, these radios are kind of primitive. They have, vacuum tubes. You can see that it's pretty obvious how to put it back together. You can also see that it's pretty obvious that there was a short in one of the wires. That must have been what they were trying to look for to repair it. But in 20, 30 minutes, you have it back together again. Meanwhile, James, how are you going to open up the doors?
Well, I've got those tools still from when me and Pete were out in the tool shed. Remember we grabbed them
Okay.
all up?
So you got a
So-
screwdriver?
I've got a screwdriver and a hammer, basically.
Okay.
And with those two, all things are possible.
Yeah, it's fairly easy to jam into the drawer and pop the lock and pull the drawer open. Okay, there are 2 locked drawers. The first one that you pop open has a box inside of it, almost about the size of a cigar box, but a little fancier. When you open that, it is lined with velvet on the inside, and it is shaped like a gun. So you think that the Colt came from this box. There is also ammo. So you've got ammo in here as well.
I'll grab like 5 of those and just stick them in my pocket.
Okay.
Just-
Eleanor, what were you doing in here? Are you still looking at your muted?
She's so wrapped up,
sorry.
you can't even hear
I'm
her.
wrapped up in the frog. I'm knowing myself. I'm just like cataloging it, looking at it in awe.
Okay. James, back to you. So you've got the box for the gun and you've got some ammo in your pocket.
Yeah, I just grabbed some of the ammo. I didn't need the box. I mean, I don't have the gun. What do I need the box for? Me just grabbed grabbed a handful of rounds and stuck them in my pocket.
Okay. Pete and Conrad, you get to the top and you see the scene pretty much the way I described it earlier. It is wet, it is rainy, there's water coming in, the wind is blowing in your face. And as you move over, you can see there are the bodies as they were described. You do not know who the man that had the gun that was attacked with the thing in his throat. You don't know who that is, but it must be one of the other 2 people.
I'll document on my notepad, and also I will identify that as the Innsmouth look.
Yes, the other human has the Innsmouth look, if you will.
I'll while he's doing that, I'll just mark it down with my sketch pad, just trying to sketch the scene.
Okay. You do that.
Oh, good thinking, Conrad.
Thank you, Pete.
Do you do anything else with the bodies?
I'm going to search for identification.
Okay. You search for identification. You do find it. You find an ID card, and it is this person is George Cassidy. And Pete, do a luck roll.
Passed 15 under 45.
Hanging around his neck is a small leather thong, and by his side is a purse that seems to be heavy with something that jangles inside of it.
Looking at it, I'm expecting to see these coins.
Yes, it is filled with those coins, maybe 30 or 40 of them.
Oh, man. It's life-changing money right there.
Don't show James, he'll just take it.
We will. So the lighthouse wouldn't have a safe or anything. So probably just leave it up here. Not going to disturb it.
Is there anything else you want to do up here?
Is there any identification for the Innsmouther?
You look through their dual luck roll.
Yes. We fail those.
Okay. There is something that looks kind of like an ID. You can tell that it's from Massachusetts, but it's damaged because it's been practically soaking in the rain at this point. You think the person's first name might have been Jeff something, Jeff Rowe, Jeff Rob, but the rest of it is
Was
the
there a
ink
Jeff?
is all bled.
All right. I'm going to actually take the purse full of gold and just like stash it into one of the like mechanical compartments.
Mechanical compartments.
Well, we're up in the lighthouse near
Yeah.
the light.
Yeah, there's not really any compartments of any
Okay,
kind.
then I'll hide it away.
Okay. You'll hide it. Well, you'd have to, the only place you could really hide something would be, geez, I don't know. There's not really much hiding places.
Mhm.
The room right below you where the
Yeah, I'll do
radio
that.
is. You could put it in the cabinet.
Yeah, that's what
Or-
I'll do.
Yeah, qu'est-ce que
Okay.
c'est? What do you have there?
This is evidence that needs to be secured. And I
Evidence.
shut the door. Did you get that radio working?
Depends what kind of evidence.
Listen, like I said, my patience is wearing a little thin here. It's Bureau of Investigation evidence here.
Hmm.
You can see the lights of the radio are on.
So you got it working, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, can you call for help so we can get off this godforsaken island?
You want to call out someone in the storm, or do you want to wait until it is finished?
Good point.
Do you think there's someone else on this island?
Yes.
Then we should also store away this radio
I
it
suppose
is
that's a good idea.
if it is our only communication outside.
Yeah, why don't you put it in this this closet right here? I'll open the same wardrobe.
Okay.
Stash it away. And you could probably see the purse. You could probably see the glint.
Hmm.
Well, he can't see the Clint because it's closed, but he can
Well, when
definitely
he
see
opened
the
it,
shape of it. Looks like a bag of money.
He
Um,
puts it inside. So is there any money in helping the FBI get, do we get
oh yeah,
wage?
they'll reimburse you or write you a big check, make it worth your while. Also, being a hero definitely has its benefits in the news.
News?
Well, the newspaper.
You want to tell people about frog people in the lighthouse in the news?
Well, we can tell
Come
them
on.
about how you fixed up the lighthouse.
Philip, what are you getting at? We're all trying to live here. What do you have to? What do we have to bargain with? We're stuck here. There's somebody who can actually help us with a gun. What are we trying to do? Okay, say he doesn't pay your bribe. Are you going to destroy the radio?
What bribe? No, I am out of a job. I need money. Right.
Oh, you can find a job once we all get off this island. And if you want to, you can find a job working at the lighthouse, but that's not my business. And we're in a very dangerous, precarious spot at the moment.
The man speaks true.
Meanwhile, downstairs, James, you have managed to Jimmy open the second drawer, the one below, and inside you do find a journal.
Ah. Can I
Gonna
flip
open it up.
through? See if there's anything
All
worth
right.
reading.
Yes, you find this.
February 13th, 1926. I found something near the south shore on one of my walks. A coin. It glistered. It glistened in the morning light on the rocks near the dock. I searched on and found another, and then another. There was some wreckage. Looks like a small ship torn up on the rocks. Must have gone down recently, though none of us heard or saw anything. Also, nothing in the newspapers, unless it happened the other night during that storm when the power went out. I better keep this quiet. Pretty sure these coins are gold, and I don't want the other two men to get a slice of the pie. Must be worth a mint. I'm documenting the events in this journal, just in case. February 16th, 1926. Bought a coin catalog in Folly Point yesterday, but it's blasted useless. Only lists American and European coins. These things ain't got any letters I know. They look too old, real old. Pirate's booty. I have told the Lighthouse Bureau. I've told the Lighthouse Bureau I rather like it here for now, and if I can stay as long as I like. My real motive is to keep searching for the gold. Once I have enough, I can leave and live it up on the mainland. I need to find out what they're worth and go with the highest bidder. Maybe I should write to some of my old colleagues to see if they can help. Maybe try some of those fancy antique shops in Roxport while I'm at it. March 10th, 1926. The coins are getting pretty hard to find. I'm sure now they came from that wrecked ship, but I have not been able to figure out who it was that wrecked. No reports from anyone. The two new keeper crew aren't helping matters. Makes it difficult to search without being noticed. Hope they don't cause me any trouble. As it is, I've filled a small purse which I keep with me at all times. April 3rd, 1926. I've got a good lead now from a lady at the Newburyport Society. She said they were valuable enough to put in a museum and that they would pay top price, even though she didn't really know what they were worth. But she did say where they were from, Innsmouth. I'll be sending one more letter to the Innsmouth Town Council. I'm sure they will pay the best. Then I can get off this stinking island for good and never look back. I have to be careful, though. I think Michael is watching me a little too closely. Lighthouse keepers are not always the most honest men. Sometimes they are ex-criminals. I should know. I have a gun I carry with me, right next to the gold. April 11th, 1926. Smith said he intends to leave the lighthouse tomorrow morning. Says he doesn't care if it violates his contract. He's had enough of this island and everything on it. I think good. One less pair of eyes watching me. Of course, Smith was not the real problem. That blasted Michael's a sneaky bastard, and I think he's after me for some reason. Smith says the radio busted halfway through his conversation with the Lighthouse Bureau. Says we need to get a new one. He'll try and repair this piece of shit before he leaves anyway. Counted my collection just to make sure he hadn't pilfered any of them while I was sleeping. Everyone's accounted for. I end up walking all over the island to throw Michael off track. I can see him watching me from the top of the lighthouse. Don't know what to do. I may have to cut my losses or somehow be more covert in my searches. April 12th, 1926. Smith left without a word. Me and Michael didn't even see him go. Didn't take his paintings with him either, which is odd. He's a pretty decent artist. He also didn't repair the radio like he said he would. You can't trust anyone. Bastard. I'll see what I can do to fix it later tonight. Michael seems really on edge. He keeps looking out the window, seems paranoid, and not about me. He's heading outside now to check on something, he says. Sometimes I wonder if he is smoking something other than tobacco in his pipe. Anyway, gives me more time to write. Life running a lighthouse is not easy. It's hard work. Mother Nature is always trying to sweep you off of this rock. She doesn't like man building lighthouses on her creations. And the sea. The foolish man looks at her endlessly, dashing herself against the rock, punishing herself like a jilted lover. But the wise man knows that she is patient and inexhaustible. Each time she rolls up and pounds the rock a bit more is washed away. Man's works are grand, but she will wear them to dust in her time. It's been over a week since I sent that letter. I was hoping to get word from.
That's where the letter ends. And that is today, the date, April 12th. Looks like he stopped writing and put it into the drawer and closed the drawer without finishing his thoughts. Something must have pulled him away.
Enough to where he grabbed the gold and his gun.
Meanwhile, what are the guys upstairs doing?
I've probably cataloged and we'll head down. I guess it's time to check out those tracks.
I've created a sketch which I can either give to you or I could use for a painting I could make later.
Hey, I mean, this sketch isn't bad. We might need some illustrators at the bureau.
My family doesn't need that kind of
Oh,
cash.
okay.
He can work for free. I take the money. No problem.
Well, I'm heading down and I'm gonna look after follow these tracks. I don't know about you. You're welcome to stay at this building, safe and sound, dry and warm.
Should somebody guard the lighthouse and the radio?
That's a good idea.
I don't think the lighthouse is safe. They found the fish guy on the top of this building. I'm going to follow you no matter where you're going, and I don't think this place is safe.
Okay, if there's a hatch on the lighthouse, you could flee up there, cover it up with heavy objects. You'll be safe up there.
I really don't think you understand the situation. I really think that they have all of the ingenuity or
These are
all
animals.
the capabilities. It doesn't seem like they're animals.
Hey, Conrad, you can take the pistol.
It doesn't seem like they're animals. It seems like that we're dealing with something that is mythological in scope. We're dealing with something that it looked like a merman or something. I don't know how to explain it.
But bullets kill them good. So take the gun.
Do you know how to use that?
No, I don't. And you can have it back. I can't shoot to save my life.
I don't
never
have
shot a gun.
ammo. Ammo must be downstairs.
Well,
Okay.
maybe someone's found something down there.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Let's regroup.
Okay. So who's going where? Who's doing what? Who's staying inside? Who's going outside? The storm is raging at this point.
Did you say there were 3 comfy chairs in that study?
Mm-hmm.
Then my
Quite comfortable.
ass is in one of them, right next to the heat. So you guys can go frolic around in the freezing cold rain and storm. I am going to sit here and just wait this thing out. And once the weather calms down, someone will come looking for us because we were due to be somewhere at some time. And when we don't make it there and the storm is raging, once it calms down, they'll send somebody looking for us.
Okay, that's on you. Listen, I'm a member of the Bureau and I'm damn proud of it. So I'm going to do my job.
Hey,
James, do you share the journal?
Oh,
with them?
no. No. No, I am as smug as one can be at this point. I may even, if I had it, I would pack a pipe and ta-ta to the rest of them as I sat there next to the warm. I might even throw another log on the fire.
All right.
Go get wet, get cold, catch the pneumonia.
Well, I found George Cassidy up there.
I figured you would. With all the blood that's down here and everything we've seen, I've seen enough. I've seen plenty. I've seen all my fill.
speaking of you,
I have no reason to go any further and watch any more of the frogs jumping about or your hands on the trail, hands reaching out or whatever. I've had it. So
Okay.
I'm here. I'm good. I feel good in my person. And you guys can go frolic and get eaten by frogs or whatever the hell Eleanor's doing in the kitchen with that one. Have a day. Make a day of it.
Did you end up finding any bullets?
No.
Because
Yes.
we've got an unloaded gun.
I might. And you know what? Here. If this will get you going and out the door. Here.
All right, I'll catch
Oh, you didn't catch him because
well, here's the thing. I think that if you or Eleanor can shoot a gun, I'm useless with this. So you might want to have a gun over here.
You saw how I just used those bullets, didn't you?
Oh, very effective.
That's right. Missed with all however many were in my hand. Clackety clank clank clank. I don't. I told you. Packing a pipe. Ta-ta.
Okay.
Hey, Pete,
Fine.
I'm going to go check on Eleanor.
Yeah, she's right
She's
there.
fine.
over
I
in the
can see
kitchen.
her right there through the study door. She's hanging
I'll
out with
come
her.
outside with you.
All right,
I
who
will
is with-
see if there
Yeah,
are more specimens.
Eleanor, do you happen to know how to shoot a gun?
I don't.
All right, I'll teach
Okay,
her
I
how
guess-
to use the gun.
I will take the damn gun, Conrad. but
Okay, here you go.
Stop arguing about it.
All right, we'll load up the magazine and put it in like that. You have to lock the slide, chamber the
Okay.
round, blah blah blah. Okay. Do not point it at people.
Okay.
Who else is going?
Right.
up?
I'll go. I want to see if there are more of these things around the island. Maybe observe them in their natural habitat.
All right, so now we got 2 people with guns going out into the rain. Sounds good. Let's put on these ponchos and head out.
So Eleanor and Peter going out.
I'm going
Conrad
with,
and
Conrad's going.
Conrad.
yeah, I'll follow them. I want to be
Okay.
next to people with guns.
Philippe.
I will stay and protect the machinery and the engines and everything.
Okay. Cool. All right. So Eleanor, Pete, and Conrad. You head out the door. You realize that it's easier to go out the kitchen door because then you don't have to walk all the way around the building. You go through the kitchen, you go out the door, and around back behind, once again, you see the generator there staying nice and dry from your repairs earlier, the toilet. Does anybody have to use the outhouse while you're out here?
No.
I'm good.
All right. You know that Michael's body is over behind the shed, but the path where you are now leads through the thicket. Is that where you're going?
Yep. Keep that hurricane lantern nice and raised, Conrad, for us.
Okay. So the thicket itself is overgrown. You do have to you don't really have to push your way through, but the path leads through it, through a little tunnel. Very soon, though, it opens up. There's rocks, and you can see that this side of the island goes down. It has an incline. There's a few more of those stone steps going down. It's a lot rockier than the other side of the island, large slabs of rock that come up out of the ocean. And you can see that there is another small dock with a small boat moored there. What do you do?
Well, it's way too stormy to set sail.
Yes, the ocean is pretty stormy.
This is good for us to use when the storm subsides.
Would
Should
it
we
fit all
check
of
it out,
us?
or is it?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to check it out. Might have supplies. Is there a shack or a lean-to near this dock?
No. This path just goes down to the dock, and that's all there is.
All right.
I would like the three of you, however, to do a spot hidden.
That's a failure.
Pass. How did you do,
Success.
comrade?
I failed.
Okay. So as you go all the way down to the dock, you get down to the dock. It's about the same as the other dock. It's a small wooden platform that goes out maybe 20 feet. And you can see there is a small yellow rowboat, now partially filled with water, a little bit, from the rain, that has been tied to the dock itself. It seems to be intact, however.
Any way we can drag it over onto shore or to the dock so it doesn't just...
Yes, you can grab a hold of
Alright.
the rope. You can undo the rope, and then you can pull it up onto the rocks.
All right, give me a hand here.
But Pete, as you are figuring out the logistics of doing that, and you're standing there on the pier, you see a glint of light. And it's not coming from the island. It's coming from the mainland. You can see it way off in the distance. But it almost looks like it is blinking Morse code or something like that. You figure from where you are, it's about a half a mile to Folly Point. It must be coming from Folly Point on the mainland. But it's definitely being directed in this direction. You don't know what it says, if it's saying anything. It could just be the storm itself. Could be a lantern that's in the wind doing this, but it definitely looks like some sort of coded message.
So since I've got my notepad and I probably have knowledge of Morse code, I could write that out.
Well, yeah, okay. You write it out, but it doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Yeah, that's strange.
So it could just be something blowing in the wind, but over on the mainland.
Okay. So let's get this rowboat secured, and then
Okay.
there's
So
no
you
other
pull
trail
the-
left.
No, it ends at the pier,
Okay.
the dock. You pull the rowboat up. You're going to flip it over to dump out all the water. You
Yes.
flip it over to dump out the water. You secure it so that it doesn't, get swept back into the water and damaged. You tie it off and you turn around and look back towards the lighthouse. At this point, there's light up above. It's not particularly bright from down here, but at least anyone at sea will be able to see something up there and know that they're getting close to land. That's when you notice that there is something there's a slab of rock right not too far from where you are, over towards the left of where you are, a flat slab that's of rock sort of sticking up out of the sea. Well, it's part of the island. But in the flash of lightning, you can see that there is somebody strapped to the front side of that rock. They seem to be tied to it.
I think I see another body. So
You can all do sanity rolls when you look over at it.
Failure.
Failure.
I failed.
Yeah, just take 1 point of damage or 1 point of sanity loss.
Silence bloodbath. Fucking hell.
You
Who are
figure
all
you
these
can make your way
people?
over to it if
Yeah, I'd like to
Didn't
make
we
my way over.
account for all of the keepers? Who are these people? Who is that?
I think we only saw two.
No, we only saw 2 keepers. You're
So this must there was 3 bunks and one of them. Yeah, we didn't find the last one.
It's like
Take a
Prometheus.
Look at it.
Yeah, just mind the smell.
Conrad says that as you guys are kind of at least making your way over a little closer. Not an apropos statement. It looks like this person was tied to the rock and tortured. There are numerous cuts and scrapes on his face and on his arms and legs. He's been partially stripped. And finally, his guts have been torn open and his organs hang down into the ocean. You can do another sanity roll for seeing that.
That's another failure.
I'm okay.
Success.
Yeah. You guys are horrified. Maybe take a point of damage. And you back away from it. And then do another spot hidden for me as you're standing there.
Extreme. 09.
Humble.
Pete, as you are standing there looking at this, you look back towards the path going into the thicket. You realize that this is where the painting was from, down near this dock. Something moves out of the thicket onto the path. It doesn't move, it sort of half hops out onto the path. It moves across the thicket in front of you. It roughly matches the size and shape, though it's dark, of that thing that's on the floor in the lighthouse room. It's only about 3 feet tall, but it looks like this.
Oh God.
After he says that, do I see it as well?
Yes, you do. When he grabs your arm and suddenly looks staring at it, Eleanor sees it as well.
Jesus, Pete, shouldn't you just shoot it?
We don't want to
It's a
agitate
live
it.
sample. It's a live sample. Don't shoot it.
A live sample? That's like the devil or something. What are
My
you
gun
talking
is trained
about?
on it, but I am not shooting it.
It looks in your direction, possibly hearing your whispers, and it lets out a strange little croaking noise. Ah. And when it does, you see 2 more of those things appearing in the rocks nearby and beginning to move in your direction. What do you guys do?
Okay. Altruism time. Get to safety. Get back to the house. I'll shoot him.
Okay,
just
can you
start
shoot the
shooting.
one that's on the path?
Yeah.
I
right.
would run away, except isn't it important that I have my hurricane lantern? Do I give the hurricane lantern to Pete, and then would he be able to shoot just as well?
Probably better if he doesn't have the lantern in one
I'll
hand
hold
while
it.
he's shooting.
Conrad, you go. I at least want to see what they look like. I would at least want to see what they look like alive.
For
You
God's
can
sake,
go.
Eleanor, get the safety.
You need to see.
I am
don't
firing
know.
my gun. It is going to be
Okay.
loud.
And Conrad, there's not really any place to run away except the dock, which is just,
Okay.
Then I
then
just stand there pointing
how
the
many
light
people?
at them.
How many people can fit in the rowboat?
3 or 4.
All right, let's go.
Okay, except that you pulled the rowboat out
Yes.
and these things are coming at you.
Yes.
It'll take you another 5 or 10 minutes to get the rowboat back in the water.
Conrad and
They'll
I can
be
do that.
they're
You hold
they're
them
only
off.
20
I
feet away
will-
from you.
Hold them off.
If I
Okay.
can, I'll set down my hurricane lantern at a place where it's illuminating the site anyway. And if I can't do that, I'll just hand it to Pete while he's shooting.
Just set it
Okay.
down. No time to talk. We're just shooting these things.
All right. So
Actually, I have a
Pete,
gun too. So
go ahead and do a shot or firearms.
1 point off from an extreme. I'll spend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, you get an extreme.
It's an impale.
damage.
Hopefully.
Damage do you do?
D10 plus 10 for an impale.
Yeah. Without any difficulty at all, you shoot the one on the path, and there's a moment where it looks as if it doesn't quite understand what has happened to it as the blood flows down its chest, but you're a crack shot. You hit it perfectly, and it lurches forward, gasps a bit, and then dies lying on the path with its arm outstretched. Guys in the house, you hear a gunshot outside.
I'd like to lock the doors, close the doors, lock them.
Mad. Do you think they are in trouble?
I do not care. Lock the door.
What are you, some kind of thief?
No, I'm not some kind of thief. I think I figured this thing out for you. And we are
So
the
you're going to lock
safest.
the front door?
We're locking every door.
He
The
is
Okay,
kitchen
that'll
door
take you a bit.
and the front door. And the back
Okay.
door as well.
There's just the 2. So Pete, you have hit the thing. The other creatures are coming towards at you from the sides. What do the 3 of you do?
I'll start
I forgot I
backing
had the gun
up.
too. So.
Oh, did you want to shoot as well?
Yeah, sure.
You want to shoot at one of the other ones?
Yes. Live sample. I will spend the 10 luck to make it just a shot because I have a base firearms.
Okay, roll for damage.
Is that a 10? D10?
Yeah,
No, you had the
1d10.
gun stats. Okay.
Yeah, D10.
4.
Okay, you do 4. You see one of them get hit and it screeches. And when it screeches, you see a couple more of those things coming around out of the thicket and around. But you've got a clear run back to the lighthouse.
Oh, then let's run.
Okay,
Boat's gonna take too long.
you guys are running. I would like, who amongst the 3 of you has the lowest luck?
I'm
I
at
think it's
40 now.
Conrad.
44.
I'm at 40. I'm done.
So either Eleanor or Conrad. Did you say 40, Eleanor?
Yes, I'll
Yeah.
roll it.
So either one of you can roll for luck.
12. Yes, it's a success.
Okay. As you come running, you guys come running at breakneck speed. You can see a few of these things they've seen you running, and they are hopping in your direction. You seem to be a little faster than they are, and you're doing your best not to lose your footing, which you don't. But just as you get back to the kitchen door, you can see James Parker moving towards the door as if he's going to either open it for you or lock the door.
Oh, I feel
James,
like we
you
just
see them
go
running
in.
up.
I mean, I'm not going to keep the door locked on them when I'm right there in their face. Of course, I'll be like, come on in.
Okay. So
James
James
just like-
opens the door and you come clattering into the kitchen.
And as soon as they clear it, we slam it back shut and lock it up.
Start barricading.
There's like
everyone.
a there's like a horde of like the frog things out there, the huge ones.
Okay. If we retreat to the tower, there's
Yeah.
only one way up.
Yep, start there. We can barricade that as well. With whatever crates or barrels, let's just go.
Is
Alright.
there lamp oil or something like that?
There is, yeah, there is. Well, there's mechanical oil up in the room for the mechanisms. I'm not sure how well that would burn. There's probably lamp oil. There's probably kerosene,
Yeah.
you know, in the
I
ledger.
try to get some kerosene.
Wait, Parker, where are those stupid coins? Maybe that's what they want.
Well, yeah, that's what they want.
Give them the damn coins. Maybe they'll go away.
I have 3 coins. You think they're doing all this for 3 coins?
I don't know. I don't
I looked all over
know.
this place for more. I found 3 on the floor, and
What is
Pete
with the
has
bag
been
of
all over me
monies?
for that.
There's
and
a bag
Philip
of
made
money
me
on the
feel
top
bad
of the
about it.
lighthouse. All right.
What?
There's a bag of money of coins that I found on Cassidy's body, stashed it away. We can just drop it off the lighthouse if this crazy
He's got an
idea doesn't
entire
work.
bag of coins, and you guys have been shitting on me for 3.
I knew he had the coins. I don't.
He
I
was
don't
there
care about the
with me.
coins.
Are we
Mister. Oh,
fighting?
everybody's got a reason to be here, but me.
I'm walking. I'm
we
walking
had a
to the
damn bag of
lighthouse. I'm
gold.
not even. I'm not
Here's your own
bothered
personal
with this.
leprechaun right here.
You didn't see just outside. There's a monstrous horde of massive frogs, and there's
There
a
is
person
clattering.
chained to a rock that is torn
There is-
apart.
There is clattering on the doors.
Maybe we should
Both
turn the
of
lights
them.
off.
I wasn't gonna take that.
Act like we're
gold.
not here.
I'm running up the lighthouse.
Throw the gold outside.
Yeah,
Maybe
I will
we'll
do that.
go.
Fine,
Yep.
fine, Eleanor. I pull the 3 gold coins in my pocket. 3 little jingle jangle, and I on the door that they're not clamoring at. I
No, they're at
Open it
both
real-
doors.
well, son of a bitch. So I slip them up underneath because I know that this building is not built that tight. So I just scoot 1 coin at a time under the door and see how they react.
Okay. They're banging on the doors.
So they don't care about the 3 gold coins I just slid underneath.
I'm going up. I'm going up. That
Yeah,
was the
I'm
idea.
going
That's
up.
what I'm doing.
Like,
Same.
they didn't even care. They don't even care that they're getting their gold back.
Well, there was a whole bag. Maybe that's
Maybe they
Listen,
need
I
all
don't
of
give
it.
a shit about money. If it's we're gonna
why are
die
we
here.
arguing. Why are we arguing? Let's
I'm
go.
running.
So are you all running up the stairs?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Kerosene.
All right. So up the stairs you go. You go 80 feet up. And you realize, of course, when you get to the top of those stairs, that there's not really a door or anything that keeps them from coming into the service room. However, tactically, they have to come up the stairs 1 or 2 at a time. do
You
you
said
wanna
the
do?
stairs are hanging on threads.
It's a spiral staircase made out of metal, but there are cables that helps to suspend it from the ceiling.
We could destroy the stairs.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
will
have-
try
do you
to.
have something that can cut through this cable.
Wait a-
though?
Wait a minute.
Machete?
Did
I
somebody?
don't think
well,
so.
I
That's
don't
like
know what's up there. Am I up
woven
there yet?
armor.
You're all getting up there. Yeah, you get to the you're just about to go into the service room.
Once we get all the way up there, I want to go ahead and like go all the way to the top because I've never been up there before. And I see there's a cabinet, a big cabinet,
Right.
and there's a small way to get up to the final piece where the finial lens is and
Correct.
such. If we all get up there, get up in that top room and then push that cabinet over the entrance to come up, well, now it blocks the only way that they can come up, and we're good. And I'm sure that there's nothing in that cabinet that we would need because it's
Ooh.
just lighthouse pieces.
Let's also just throw the gold down, see if that works.
I'm with Conrad. I'm
Yeah.
with Conrad.
Yeah, I'm
If-
fine
well,
with that.
If,
We'll
if it
take
doesn't
a-
I already
work,
gave-
I'll
take out
let
the
you pick it
radio.
up off the line.
I already
Yeah.
gave mine up. I gave mine up by sliding it under the door.
We
The
know.
least he could do is give his up now since
It's
he had a
not
whole bag.
mine. Conrad saw me secure it for evidence here. This is
Wow.
I
do or
also
die.
saw the gold.
All right, so you are now in the service room. Down below, you can hear what sounds like splintering wood as one of the doors, you don't know which one, is probably broken in. Maybe you hear
So-
glass breaking as well, because there are windows.
From the
And
cabinet, we get the
What
radio and the
exactly do
gold.
you want to do? You open up the cabinet, you see both the gold and the radio, and a
Mhm.
bunch of other bits and pieces and parts.
You guys had a radio too?
I
Yeah,
That
repaired
they
it.
were
repairing it.
upfront about that. Throwing the gold out the window. Throwing it out. Gone.
You're throwing it out the
Okay.
window?
Wait,
Well, there's
before you
not
throw it
really
out
a
the window,
but
should
down
jingle
the
it down the
Wherever
steps.
everyone was thinking to put it.
Yeah.
Yes, wherever they were thinking to put it.
So it jingles. Jingle down the stairs.
okay. So you're gonna throw it down the stairs.
Mhm.
Or at least some of it.
No, all
Okay.
of it.
all
All right,
of
all of it. Fine.
Parker.
Fine.
If they don't want it, we pick it up.
All right. You hear it jingle, jangle, jingle as it goes down. You hear it hit the cement floor down below. Is anybody watching?
I'm
Yeah,
assuming
going
we're
on.
all watching at this point.
I mean,
Well, you can't really all watch.
I'm moving
but
the
unless you go
cabinet.
back.
I'll watch since I've got a gun.
Okay. What you see is kind of interesting. You do see these things. There are maybe 5 or 6 of them. They've broken into the house. At first, they seem to be randomly sort of moving around, trying to get their own bearings in the room. So one of them at least sees the coins on the floor, and they begin picking them up. Then they all join in. They all start picking up the coins. But that kind of Gollum, my precious look to them, like they've got these coins. And then they continue. They start to move up the stairs. At first, it looks like they're looking for coins, looking for more coins as they come up the stairs.
Do we still have the kerosene?
Sure, you have kerosene. Yeah.
Can we slowly
burn 'em.
drizzle that down the spiral staircase handrail so that there's going to be a long, slow trail of kerosene
I'm
trickling
not sure
down?
that it would actually do that. I think that it would just pour
It's
off
very
the
oily.
railing onto the floor.
Kerosene, being a quite viscous liquid, it would probably hold on to the handrail in a most noble fashion.
It's a lot of handrail going down. It
But it's all one
probably would
piece.
get a little bit near you.
Either way, I'm thinking we set the downstairs on fire. They're metal.
They are made out of iron, so yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do
I mean,
it.
it's something to do.
and we've got air, which is fine.
Mhm.
We do have air.
So we're not going to suffocate.
So you splash kerosene all over the stairs, a little ways down from where you are, because the the floor where you're standing is wood.
That should have
Kerosene
qualified.
shouldn't have a lot of flame though to it. All right, so these creatures are coming up, but they don't seem to be coming up in any great speed. They seem to be preoccupied with looking for coins.
I say we let them. Don't do anything rash.
We wait out the storm and then we use the radio.
Yes.
And meanwhile, we could chuck little pieces of glass down there that would sound like coins, so they would think that something was. They just keep looking. We could probably. I don't know how smart a fish is. Don't goldfish forget where they live every 5 minutes or something? So these guys are probably not super smart.
Are those things poisonous? Eleanor?
Goldfish? No, they're delicious.
You eat
I don't,
goldfish?
I don't know if they're poisonous or not. I didn't really get a chance to look at them completely.
Okay, well, I
All
don't want to
right.
get into a confrontation we don't have to be in.
So these things are slowly moving higher. They seem to be searching for coins. You think though by now they've probably collected all of the coins that you guys have thrown down, but they continue searching.
Yeah, so Philippe is moving the cabinet close to the
Okay,
entrance, just
so
in
you're
case.
going to try to block the entrance
Yeah.
with the cabinet. Do a luck roll, Philippe.
41 is a success.
Okay. So it doesn't completely fit like a glove, but it definitely blocks it. And it's fairly heavy. You've kind of pushed it over so that it's on top of the entrance. There are gaps around the sides, but it would take quite a bit of effort to push it open, unless somebody tried to shatter it from inside, in which case it would splinter. But it's heavy wood. It's heavy oak wood. All right, so now you guys are up there, and you know those things are still moving up towards the. They're slowly. They seem to be more interested in the gold than they are in you at this point. They do
you
seem to
wanna-
be acting a little more like animals than anything else.
Pete, do you just want to unload the entire second gun's ammunition just into those that you can see?
Not yet, because they are animal-like. If we keep that wardrobe there, they might just think that there's no way up, and they've searched everything. I'm gonna go check George Cassidy and that Innsmither again, see if they have any gold coins.
See if he has any gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we should get rid of those as well.
I will
Okay.
stand near the cabinet with the hatchet and keep guard.
Okay, you head back up to the lamp room. You do a thorough search. You don't find anything else. You can hear the things rustling around downstairs. Pete, while you are up in the lamp room, I would like you to do a spot hidden.
Okay. That is a 13 out of. Okay, extreme. On the nose.
You glance out the glass room. You glance out perhaps where the hole is and the storm is going outside. You see a light on the south pier where you guys were a little while ago. You think that it's possible that there's somebody down there with a lantern. In fact, there are now 2 small rowboats that are there.
Since I'm up there, is this room sealed off from the outside so I can yell down at them?
Not anymore. One of the windows is smashed, so the
Okay,
outside is.
So I could yell down at them.
You could yell to who? Your friends?
To the figure at the at the
Oh,
dock.
you're probably 150 feet away
Yeah,
from the
all right.
dock.
Okay, I'll let everyone know. Like, there's someone else. They're gonna get torn apart by those animals.
I begin shouting immediately, even if the range doesn't make sense.
Did someone try to make contact? Weren't they trying to do some Morse code or something across the water at us? Did someone try to contact them on the
No, that
radio?
wasn't Morse code.
Oh, okay.
But
Is there
we
a
could
big enough
use
piece of
Morse
that
code
lens?
with the light from the lighthouse.
Do you
Contact
know
them.
Morse code, Mr. Dubois? Because I
Yeah.
don't.
It's
is-
nautical.
Is there a big enough piece of that lens to where, because obviously a bullet is going to hit it. I'm sure it didn't shatter into a million pieces. If there's a big enough piece, we could almost use it as it doesn't have to be Morse code. It could just be like a beam of
Signal.
light to say, hey, we're up here.
Do a luck roll to see if a piece like that has fallen off. The rest of it is rotating. The light is on, so it's very bright up here.
How do we
where
know
you're
it's not
standing,
more
Pete.
frog people?
That's a 94. So that's going to be
Yeah, there's some chunks, like hand-sized chunks of it, but nothing.
I'll
big.
probably slip and throw it out 94, crying out loud.
I don't think the frog people use lanterns.
True.
No.
Might be
I
an
mean,
Innsmither.
But if we just use our lantern and just like shine it in the window, right? Like they might see that at least.
It's possible. However, there is a bright light up here already.
That's true.
Yeah, we
Brighter
could
than
all
your
just go out on
lantern.
the catwalk and do this.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
doing that
our-
and screaming.
Your shadows
our
would
body
be
should
seen.
block the light.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conrad
Okay.
is
Stay
correct, I
at
think.
the wardrobe that's
We
been
could
used as a
form
barricade.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of you are in the lamp room. You've decided to go out onto the gangway around.
Yep.
Okay, you
I'm
can do
out
that.
there.
There's a, like I said, there's a glass door you can go through. Now from where you are, it's slippery, it's wet. It's a metal railing all the way around. So you probably, you can be pushed off, but you probably have a good, grip on it.
Mhm.
You're not going to fall off. The wind is blowing. Pete, you said you went back to the service room where you are watching to make sure that nothing is coming up.
Yeah. So
Okay, you're making noise and you're doing, you see the lantern moving up towards the thicket. You see it kind of disappear into the thicket as it's coming through the thicket tunnel, and then it reappears on the other side. It is somebody wearing a very heavy Macintosh to keep the rain off, and he has the big, floppy seafaring person's hat because it is stormy. It's probably yellow, and he's trudging up towards the house with a lantern in his hand. You can't see any details from this distance and in the dark.
Philippe, as we're at the wardrobe, now that I think of it, how the hell did he get here in a raging storm in a rowboat? We barely got here alive in a rowboat.
maybe someone else from the Essex.
Can I hear him say that?
Yeah.
No.
If you'd like.
That takes the wind out of my sails immediately. I come back inside, panting a little bit, and I'm just like, "What do you mean? You mean they're like? You mean this is like a frog person or something?"
I don't know what to think. Just be wary.
If this is Innsmouth folk, can we talk to them?
Yeah, I think.
Can they be reasoned with? I
Yeah,
mean,
of course.
just
I think so. They're not pleasant.
Why did
well, then we
nobody
just
attack that guy?
arrived.
What do you mean attack that guy?
Why did nothing attack? Why was he able to walk all the way from the rowboat all the way up to the house and not a single frog tried to get him?
He's definitely an Innsmither.
Yeah. Maybe he's there, maybe
Now
he's
that
like
you
their-
say that and you see him moving towards the cottage door, yeah, he's got kind of an odd little gait as he's walking along.
Well, Pete,
maybe
why
he's the
don't you go
brains of the operation.
explain to him that that we're innocent in all of this. We just arrived a couple
don't
of
think he-
hours ago.
I don't think anybody cares if we're innocent. I think that
You said they can be reasoned with.
Can I
Tell
call
him
They don't
down
have
to
anything
the
to do
guy?
with their treasure.
Tell him we will kill as many as
As
we
he's still
can if they
outside,
want to
you can
get us.
try. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try because I'm still outside on the rail. I'm watching this guy. So I want to call down when he's as close to me as he's going to be before going inside.
Mhm.
I'm going to call down.
Okay.
Hey,
You call down, and when you call down, he stops. He looks back like that. And his Macintosh flops back, and you can see that he has definitely got the Innsmouth look. He's got large, bulgy eyes, and his mouth is extremely wide. And as he looks up, you see him sort of make an odd expression, and you're pretty sure he mouths, "What the fuck?" or "What the deuce?"
right?
as he sees you up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same one from up here. I'm gonna say, yeah, that's exactly. We've given you all your gold back. Call your guys off.
He ignores you at that point, and he heads towards the door, and you see him
I grab
come
whatever.
inside.
Well, I grab some glass from that busted lens and I huck it down at him
Okay.
for
Um,
ignoring for
do a
for
throw.
punching
Do
me.
a throw roll.
I don't even know if I have. throw stat there. Hold on.
20.
Base
That's
20
the
for
base,
everyone.
15 is, pull this back up. Bro. Grief. You say it's base 20?
Yeah.
Oh, 16 is what I got. So a regular pass.
You throw a chunk of that rock down at him, and it hits him in the shoulder. And so he moves over like this, looks up at you like this, and then goes through the door rather violently angry.
Did it
Um,
deal
I-
1 point of damage?
I go inside and tell everybody, hey, I tried to talk to him. He wanted to be an ass. So I hucked a big piece of glass at him and I hit him. Now he's pretty mad. So he's probably come up the stairs. Just so you know, I don't want you to be surprised.
Then
what do you
comrades,
guys want to do?
this is going to be a long night.
I'd say I think we're kind of trapped, right? We lit the stairs on fire and we barricaded ourselves here.
I run to the radio. Is this usable by someone who doesn't understand radio?
You don't know. There's a dial on the front. There's a microphone.
Philly, help me use this. How do I
apparently there's a bunch of
contextual?
channels.
Okay. I will go and explain him how to use it.
All right. Philippe would know what channel is probably for Coast Guard or for
Mhm.
emergencies. Okay. It takes you a second to tune it. You hear that sort of, high pitched like this. And then you send out your Mayday. This is, well, you guys can do it.
Okay, maybe you know the right thing to say. I don't know are you supposed to say Mayday? Mayday, if that's what I'm supposed to say. We're trapped on this island, and there are a horde of frog people and a man whose like face looks like a deep sea fish, and
What?
they're
No,
trying
no.
to.
Tell
What am
them
I
we
supposed to do? I don't know. You take.
Tell them we need help. We need help now, and that's it.
We need help rescue on the island. We're at the lighthouse where I don't know island name, but whatever island name it is.
I can tell him that I don't know.
Yeah.
This is the U.S. Coast Guard.
Yes.
What's your emergency?
Our emergency is that we are facing a threat on it's like frog people. There's like monstrous things on this island that are trying to kill us, and we are trying to get help from immediately. Would be immediate help necessary.
This is an emergency channel. If you sound like somebody playing some sort of joke, you need to get off this channel.
No, it's not a joke. Okay, let me word it this way. There are people on the island, and these people are trying to kill us. They're smugglers or something. They're heavily armed, and they're trying to kill us. We're at the lighthouse.
Beacon Island Lighthouse.
That's correct.
How many of you are there?
Agent here, Pete Morris, Special Agent Pete Morris is with us on the island. We can
Yes.
get him if you want to talk to him.
But we have 5 with us in our group. The rest of them are the other the smugglers.
The lighthouse was badly damaged in a fight. Be careful when you approach the island.
All right. There's currently a fairly severe storm going on. You are on land. We can get a boat out there, but we have to wait for the storm to pass. If you're not, immediately in.
We're in a semi-fortified position, and we can potentially wait out the storm here.
Roger. We'll see what we can do. We'll try to get somebody out there.
We have barricaded the lighthouse, but we are not sure how long it will hold.
You said smugglers?
Yes, they're heavily armed.
Okay. Yeah, keeping contact. So ultimately, they say they're going to try to send somebody out there, but they've got to be very careful because it is a storm. They know where you are. Meanwhile, is anybody peeking downstairs past the
That would be me.
furniture? All right. You see that man come into the lighthouse base looking up. You see the little creatures hopping over towards him and holding up their hands to him as he begins to collect the gold coins from them. And after a few moments of this, he seems to bleat some sort of noise at them that sounds like something between a frog and a dolphin screech, and points up the stairs. And they stop what they're doing and immediately start flowing up the stairs like a horde of ravenous fish doggies. What
Okay,
do
I'll
you
yell
guys do?
down. You don't have to do this. You got your gold. Why don't you go? No one else has to die.
The thing croaks out it's very strange sort of croaky voice, but definitely speaking English. And it says, "No witnesses."
All right, he's getting
Can
a
I-
bullet.
You're going to shoot him?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and do a firearms.
I rolled a 13. I'm willing to spend the luck.
I rolled a
it-
54, so you fire. You wanted to increase that?
Oh yeah, I'd like to make it an extreme.
Okay. Well, from this distance, and because you're increasing it to make the extreme, you don't get an impale, but
And I mean,
go ahead and roll for damage.
10.
Damn.
My dice are on fire tonight. Like,
Philippe,
that was a warning shot, buddy.
we should hot mic the
You-
radio so that the Coast Guard hears these gunshots and the screeches and all this craziness going on from exactly where we had just asked for help from.
You hit him pretty squarely. You think on the side of the neck, but he seems to have something that looks like body armor, though you realize that it's actually him underneath there. So it goes through the Macintosh, hits him. It definitely injures him. You can see a splatter of blood on the ground. But he falls for a moment and then wheels around and gets out back into the cottage as these things are coming up towards you. To do.
Okay,
There
get ready
are
for a fight,
5 of
everyone.
them.
Did we do the fire thing? The oil and fire?
You
thing?
didn't. The stairs are still saturated.
Conrad.
At least.
Conrad begins trying to do that because he can't fight in any other way.
Okay. Gonna maybe have a match or a lighter or something.
We have the
I'll give you
torch, the storm lights, storm lanterns.
Oh, you do. Yes, you do.
I've
You
got
want to
4
throw one of
bullets
those
left.
down?
Not enough
I have a gun. I have
time
the
to
other gun.
reload. Yeah, let's see some fancy shooting, Eleanor.
Ah. Yeah. When they light the stairs on fire, I'll take a shot.
Okay. So as the things are getting towards the top of the stairs, you manage to light them on fire. The creatures are immediately afraid of the fire, and they back down, but they only back about halfway down. Actually, a couple of them probably run all the way to the bottom and then dive out the door. They do seem to not like the fire at all. They also might not like the brightness of the fire as well. They seem to be nocturnal, dark, underwater things.
As a last resort, we go up to the lighthouse.
Okay, well, I think that you're pretty safe because they're not going to cross the fire to get into thing. Who has the lowest luck at this point?
40.
40.
41.
41.
So whoever has 40, why don't you
You want to trade off,
decide who
Conrad?
wants to?
Did the last one.
That's a fair.
So you manage to sort of hold them off for a bit, but then the fire goes out. And you hear that thing downstairs bleeding, some sort of fishy order. And the creatures continue, they come running faster than before up the stairs, heading towards the cabinet. They slam into the cabinet, and the cabinet rattles and shakes, and you're pretty sure they'll be able to smash through it quickly. What do you do?
To the lighthouse.
Light the cabinet
To
on
the light. The
fire.
light. Yes, up to the light. Light the thing on fire.
Yeah, we
Do you
can
want to
light
light
the
the cabinet on fire?
and then run up to the lighthouse.
Take the radio
Now
with you.
the floors in here are wood.
You burn the floor out from under us, then we're gonna fall.
Not if we're up on the lighthouse, like the top,
The
because
roof
we're in
is
the service.
wood.
It's not stone.
Well,
You're in the we're going to the actual bulb room.
The deck
where
is wood,
the
Okay,
lamp
got it,
room
got it.
still
Where the
has a
lamp
wooden
room.
floor. Yeah.
and the
Okay.
machine is standing on the wooden floor, so
Yeah,
keep
good
it intact.
point. I
So
think
we
it's
could
just
if we go to the lamp room and go to the other side where we're behind that bright bulb that's burning
Mhm.
like crazy right now, they're not going to come past that bulb.
yeah. We'll
And-
play Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah, well, we can just sit
Philip
up there.
is
They're not
going
going
to
to come up
say
there.
very
Okay.
quietly, until they disable the machine.
I don't think they're smart enough.
The machine
Yes.
We
just
don't
spins
like
it.
the light. We just have to make it to the sunrise, right? If they don't like this, if they don't like light, they're probably going to get out of here by dawn.
All right. So
Oh,
is there a crowbar? Because we can even stop it from spinning, jam it into the machine that turns it. So just facing the stairs.
Well, the only thing that is spinning is the Fresnel lens.
Oh,
The light bulb is stationary in the center.
It's
Um,
very bright up there.
okay.
No
So
so
let's
it's
go.
bright in all directions. There is a crowbar if you need a crowbar.
Yeah.
As
so
a
if you
weapon,
need to
yes.
fight these things off. A crowbar is going to be handy.
The fisherman looking guy, he could figure out how to disable.
Do I
the-
have view of the generator from here? If he tries to go for it, I'm going to start shooting at him.
The generator would be down below on the ground outside the building in the back.
So I would have a
Um,
view.
You could get a view if you went
All
out
right.
onto the railing.
I will
Yeah.
do that. I will guard it. And I'm going to
Okay.
reload while I have the time.
All
Okay.
right.
So we retreat one level higher. Take the
It
radio
is
with us.
probably around 11:30 at this point. You got onto the island about by 8:30 you were here, so it's been 3 hours at least.
It'll be a long night.
All right. So you climb up there and you've barricaded yourselves up there. The creatures do break through where the cabinet is. But you've got, they could only come up into this area one at a time, and they do seem to be afraid of the light. You guys have moved to the other side. Pete has gone out onto the railing. He's looking down at the generator area, but you don't see anybody coming out to the generator. What do you guys want to do to fend these things off? They might get brave and face the light and attack you anyway.
I was pretty
Obviously,
much
they
counting on
came
the
up
light
here
bulb.
before.
I think
What's
just
that?
like knife, crowbar, and spare gun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to be on lookout because
Yeah. we headshot them to death.
And I'm going to
Okay.
use Eleanor, Conrad, Pete, and Philippe.
All right. I think this is a good point where we can sort of wrap up. you are able, mostly because of the light, to fend the things off. Eventually, Pete, you notice out to sea that there is a moving light, and it seems to be a rather bright moving light, and there seem to be a few colors like a green and a red that you keep seeing, and you're pretty sure it's the Coast Guard. The sea's a little calmer, but the storm continues. They're moving this direction. At some point, you then see the noise down below ceases. You might hear something moving through the cottage to get out. And you see this horde of creatures and your Macintosh guy running down the south towards the pier, the little pier. And you can see them in the distance get into their little, well, he gets into the skiff that he brought over, and he begins rowing out to sea. You see all the little creatures dive into the ocean. And it then takes the Coast Guard maybe another hour, not to get there, but they're trying to find a safe place where they can land. And they come on board and they see all of the craziness that's going on the ship, on the island. How do you explain to them
Well,
what has happened?
they can trust me. I'm part of the government. Pete Morris, badge, ID number, all that. And I'm just gonna be like, hey,
You would do a luck roll, Pete.
Of course. Oh, I failed 84.
They're suspicious of you for some reason. Philippe, do a luck roll.
07.
07. Well, without really catching yourself, you blurt out a few things about fish people, kind of what Conrad was saying. Oddly enough, the Coast Guard are not that skeptical of what you've been saying. It's not their first run-in. They don't say that to you directly, but it's not their first run-in with Innsmouth folk.
We still have one on
You
the,
do
on the
have
lighthouse.
samples, yeah. Eleanor, actually, Eleanor, you find that they've taken their dead bodies with them, except you've still got some up where you are. So you do manage to have one of the dead creatures with you, but somehow that's probably hushed up. Once you get back, they're not going to. They were going to give you credit for it, but at the same time, you can't publish this in any journal or anything like that. And ultimately, you all get rescued, though you're a little bit more afraid of the ocean, thalassophobia. And that's the end of our story.
Excellent.
Right.
Is there anything
So,
more to it? Yeah.
and it involves some of you. Pete is part of the Bureau. His co-bureau member was Michael. Michael got stationed out here on purpose because he's also an agent. He was investigating smuggling that was going on. He didn't know that it was Innsmouth folk that were doing the smuggling, but he was investigating that. What happened is the Innsmouth folk were in fact moving gold around. It was from the South Seas islands. Hence at one point I had Conrad do a check on the figurines. If he'd have passed it, he would have thought, well, it looks kind of like something I've seen on the South Seas islands. It's Obed Marsh's old gold that's being moved around and minted, and the Innsmouth folk are using it. On February 12th, I think it was, when the light went out, they had a short circuit and the light was out for hours. There was an unmarked Innsmouth vessel moving gold, and it wrecked on the rocks. And as a result, some of the gold ended up, right on the shore and so forth. Cassidy found the gold, and he began to collect it. At the same time he was doing that, the Innsmouth folk knew that their ship had wrecked, and so they themselves sent out a couple of scouts to see if they could find any of the lost gold. Those are the people that Smith saw on the island lurking in the bushes and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the gold was being collected. Eventually, they cut their losses and they left. The Innsmouth folk did. Until Cassidy's letter that he sent directly to Innsmouth asking them about the gold. And then they were like, oh shit. He's been collecting the gold. So they came back, this time bringing what they called younglings with them to search for the gold. And that was Jethro Marsh, who was upstairs. He was one of the Innsmouth hybrids, which Cassidy managed to kill. He was being contacted by Ezra Gilman, who is on the shore. They were supposed to stay in contact. All of this happened just before you arrived. A sort of battle ensued, and when Jethro was killed, the younglings no longer had anyone to direct and control them. They're like sort of dog-like. But they knew they were supposed to collect gold, so they continued looking around for gold. When you threw the bunch of gold down, they were like, oh, cool, gold. They started collecting it, and then they were going to give it to Ezra when he arrived. Ezra wouldn't have arrived at all if you guys hadn't relit up the lighthouse, which immediately told him something was seriously wrong. So he immediately rowed over. He wasn't afraid of drowning because he can breathe underwater. And so he came into all of that right at just less than an hour after it had started to happen. What do you guys have any questions? Nope.
Oh,
No,
thank you. That was incredible.
All right. I will go ahead and I'll finish up and then we can talk. Our players included Holly Butow, John Byram, Alex Sun, Chase Kapner, and Jan Schlegel, with yours truly as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.